system. I think our country's corrupt, and quite frankly, I don't want to vote for Biden. It feels like voting for a Republican. But I'm gonna do it. You want to know why? Because the alternative is a fucking fascist. A fascist is a fascist. Maybe we can have the conversation about dismantling the two-party system when a fascist isn't running. Maybe we can do that later, kiddo. Champ. Chief. Maybe we can talk about it later. I'm a mess. Fuck! Can this hear me? Fucking what? I'm calling your club, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. I fucking hate you. Ruth, you just have to make it to 2021.
I know I'm not exactly the voice that people need to be hearing right now. I need more confirmation that this is real. I've gotten some, but I need more confirmation that this is real. I've just about had it with 2020.
Please vote. Please be registered and go vote. I don't want to lose my rights. I don't want to lose my right to health care. I don't want my friends to lose the rights to their marriage. Please go vote.
Dynamite. Great end of show mixes. I don't think I can even play them all. There's so many. It's like 12 minutes of mix. All right. I know he's alive. I've seen an email. Let's see if he shows up. Hello? Hello, hello? Hello, hello? Where is he? Okay. He's late. I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. Okay. Yeah. In the morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah.
I sent a bonus clip.
Okay. Let me check and see the bonus clipping. Bonus clip. Let's see. Bonus. I already have that one.
You do?
Of course. I have 3 of them. Are you kidding me?
You have the Linda Steele one?
Is she in this BBB Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have that. No, I have Trudeau.
No,
then it's good.
Play my prelude first because what I have is Linda Steele, and then I have some other douchebags talking about it.
Oh, perfect.
And then I don't have Trudeau.
Oh, perfect. This is why there's 2 of us.
Let me play mine first because there's an interesting point made in this. These are like 2 zoo people, but they're newsies.
I promise you I will play yours first.
Yeah.
That makes nothing but sense. Okay. Let's get some fat bitch out here.
Fat lady! Fat bitch! Valkyrie!
Okay, everybody. Thursday morning, are you ready? There it is. Your bat signal. Go ahead, retweet the tweet, boost the toot. It's out there. Do it now because we've got episode 1. Test.
Adam
1, 2,
Curry,
1, 2,
John C.
1, 2,
Dvorak.
3. Test 1, 2. Okay. Test is complete. And we're just waiting on you.
For what?
For you to tell us we can hit it.
Oh, okay. What time is it? Oh, wow. Early. Okay, well, let me think. I got nothing really funny to say, but let's go for it. Hit it.
Adam Curry, John C. Dvorak.
It's Thursday, September 24th, 2020. This is your award-winning Gimbo Nation Media Assassination episode 1280.
This is No Agenda.
Spinning up to 45 cycles and broadcasting live from Opportunity Zone 33 here in the frontier of Austin, Texas, capital of the Drone Star State. In the morning, everybody. I'm Adam Curry.
And from northern Silicon Valley, where I'll slow it back down to 33 and a third where it belongs. I'm John C. Dvorak.
It's Crackpot and Buzzkill in the morning.
No, it doesn't even belong there. It belongs at 30. Not even at 33 and a third. Yeah. In the morning to you, sir.
In the morning to you.
Hey. So, let me talk about this Spotify thing right away. People are very confused.
Oh, yeah. Spotify. Oh, we've been deplatformed. Oh, no.
I love your attitude.
I had my daughter bring it up.
Yeah, what'd she say?
She sent me I said, look, she says, what's this? And she hands me her phone. It's got a picture of No Agenda Show deplatformed from Spotify. And I explained to her what you're going to explain right now, which I'll invite you to do.
Okay. Several weeks ago, I received, a couple emails were coming out to all podcasters. Amazon is spinning up their podcasting thing. Google wanted to, obviously Amazon was coming into the marketplace and everyone is doing their thing.
Let's stop before you go on then.
Mm-hmm.
What? I heard this too. What is how does Amazon fit into the scheme of things? They're just jumping into everything.
Yeah, Amazon, now they also have an app store, for Android. They, of course, have Amazon Music, so they now have a new app, which is, lo and behold, Amazon Music and Podcast. And I think...
Oh, is it going to be as exciting as Amazon Music that's taken the world by storm?
Yeah, probably. So the way they do it is that they'll find their RSS feeds, podcast feeds, wherever they find them or scrape them or whatever they do. And in there is always an owner email that is deemed to be the owner of that feed. So they just send everybody an email saying, hey, you want to make sure you're on this hot new Amazon Music app? So go over here and register in the podcast portal. Which, I went over there, checked. We were not on it. Okay, fine. That's exactly the way I'd want it to be. And besides, if we want it to be on there, it was not something I would do myself. Around this time, Google also said, hey, if you don't want to be in it, Google's different. Their approach is, hey, if you don't want to be in our system, you've got to put this code in your feed. Thanks, Google. So now it's on me to stop them. Yeah. Thank you.
Come on, you know that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. And they do promise, even if you don't want to be in our podcast player, you will show up in search results. Mm-hmm. So Spotify also sent me an email to adam@curry.com. Hey, log into your podcaster portal. You can check your stats and do all kinds of stuff. I'm like, that's interesting. I know we're on Spotify. I know
a dashboard.
Well, so I log in. Now, this is a few weeks ago. I log in. And I have I have an account. It's adam@curry.com. It's been the same since day one. And there's no agenda. There's no podcast associated with me. I'm like, well, that's interesting. Of course, I knew I didn't put it up, so I never said, go ahead, put it there. So I click on the Got a Question link. And I fill out the form and say, what's up with that? And it said, my podcast is on your system, but it's not in my podcast portal. And so they send me an email back. Okay, if you have a problem, click on this link to submit a copyright claim. Copyright claim. So I look at this link, and the link right there says, copyright claim, make sure you consult a lawyer before filling this out. I'm like, I'm not going to do anything like this. So I drop it, and I just forget it. And then all of a sudden, we're gone from Spotify. So this doesn't surprise me because if you see what they are doing and where they're at right now, and where the industry is at, I believe they are shoring up all of their feeds so that they have agreements, because the agreement they want you to sign has a lot of things in there that would be open to discussion whether we want to be on there at all. And the most important, well, there's a couple of important points, but the biggest problem both of these apps, I'll put Amazon Music in there and Spotify, because it's Spotify Music and Podcast, is you cannot, under any circumstances, have any little bit, piece, snippet, or anything of music that you do not have cleared and licensed. This is the Achilles heel for Spotify, because they wanted to move away from paying for music. So if the algorithms, and there's plenty of them, and the music record companies have them, music publishers, if they detect some music in a podcast, they're immediately going to send Spotify a bill, who will then turn around and say, it's your fault, you promised you wouldn't do it, and send us a bill. Even if it's under fair use, I don't think we want to necessarily have to deal with that. Our end of show mixes would have to stop for sure. But otherwise, they want all right and title, worldwide license. They can edit, they can transform, transmorgify, they can chop down, remove, do whatever they want with your show. They can actually change the file.
No good. That's no
but
good.
This is really not what it's about. This is about the Spotify podcast automatic ad insertion. And they touted this back in January. There's a couple of links in the show notes. You can
this is no good.
Yeah,
No good.
so they are promising targeting at a very specific level by gender, age, race, musical taste, sexuality. They're building huge profiles in everybody, because if you think about it, what you learn from someone's music can be quite a lot. Also, who you share your playlist with. So they are promising, and it could be true. They are promising the Facebook of Facebook advertising of podcasts, and this they really made a big deal about this this advertising system they have, and I think they purchased some technology as well, and it's already rolling out. So obviously, if you don't have an agreement with a podcast or with the person who owns the feed, and all of a sudden you start throwing advertising in there, that can be confusing for a lot of people. And so this is, I have one example, because what they're doing is they're inserting it before the show starts, not in the show itself. And oh, by the way, you're allowed to have your own promotional paid promotions, as long as it doesn't promote a competing service or speak badly about Spotify, as long as there's no hate speech, is all the typical rules that are in there. So this is just a dorky ass podcast. Whatever happened to the I think, what is it called? It was just a great example. Whatever happened to pizza at McDonald's, which has nothing to do with pizza at McDonald's. But when you start the podcast, this is what happens.
You're ready to buy a car. You're faced with, wow, who can I trust? I'm Car Pro Jerry Reynolds. At Car Pro USA, we match you to the right dealer near you.
So I think these are 20 or 30-second spots that they play in front of the podcast that they've now targeted to advertise. And here's the transition. Right, so you can hear that's obviously just the dorky podcast. But they're still working on their targeting. I don't know if it's because I'm in Austin, but if you load the next episode or refresh the episode, I got this one.
Conquista el otoño de JCPenney. Aprovecha los doorbusters de jueves a domingo en la tienda y jcp.com mientras duren. Como selección de camisetas.
I always thought JCPenney in Spanish would be fun. Yeah, I'll take it to the end here.
Condiciones y exclusiones. Detalles en la tienda o jcp.com.
Before we begin today's program,
Nightmare.
I would like to make the following huge announcement.
So that's going to be in front of every podcast. And I am a paid subscriber. This is not just, and they have said that they will do this for paid people, for members who pay too. It's not just going to be for...
What's the point of paying if you're going to get inundated with lousy advertising? It sounds more like the platform is good for advertisers.
Yeah.
I mean, for podcasters who are advertisers. In other words, I think it would be funny to have no agenda ads in front of all these other podcasts.
Well, that we could probably do it by. That would be a lot more interesting for us, I think.
Yeah. I don't know why you're listening to this podcast. We've got a better one.
And they've really rolled out a whole suite of tools. They offer free voices, production. They're really trying to get everybody in to do these podcast ads. Now, even though that particular feed, which was an active feed, was taken down, apparently there's another one, which is someone else put us up, and I guess it's an archive, and you can still find it through Google, and it doesn't really matter for us to determine, do we want to be on there at all?
Well, obviously we can't be on there. It makes no sense at all whatsoever. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But you determined that, I think, since this is your bailiwick, you determined that this was not going to work out for us under any circumstances. I think when they first announced this a year ago.
Yeah. Even though we didn't really know the whole advertising play, we figured that's what they'd be doing.
Well, it's worse than that. It seems worse than what you anticipated.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of restrictions, and it's just, it reminds me so much of the book contract that I got for my book. I look at the contract, I'm like, no, we can't adhere to that. We're always going to talk something sexist or misogynist or hateful. That's all in the eye of the beholder. And that's all in the terms of service. We can, if we put it back on, we'll be off soon, especially in light of what seems to be going on over there.
Well, the problem is with the book contracts is less of a problem because book contracts are notorious for being dummy contracts. And the book business has been in business forever, and these people, they put these contracts out and only dummies sign them.
Sure.
So they're very negotiable.
Yes, but
the problem with these podcast ideas is that everybody's a dummy.
Yeah.
So everyone's just going to sign off on this when, in fact, and there will be no precedent for writing your own contracts. I mean, maybe Joe Rogan has a much better looking contract than the rest of them, but it doesn't sound like it from the way things are going.
Well, I would say the most interesting part of it is that there's no actual mention of sharing any revenue with advertising that's put in front of your show. They don't seem to have any, at least no noticeable plan for that. Not that we would want that, but so you get into this situation where people, and this is exactly what they want. It's what Amazon wants to do. It's what Google wants to do. Everybody wants, iHeartRadio wants to do this. We have exclusive shows. Brene Brown just went to Spotify. Oh, everybody. Ooh. And I'm not against Spotify being in let me just say it, the podcasting space. Thank you. If their app has stuff that's exclusive to them, that's okay. But if you cannot add a podcast feed manually, then that is not a podcast player, and you should not rely on it for your podcast. For this is just one show, ours. The next one will be something else, and that'll get taken down, and you're just going to have to deal with multiple apps eventually anyway. So I just don't see a necessity for us to do it, and quite honestly, I'm not so sure about how happy we should be with the Google Play stuff either. And there's one more, Stitcher. Those guys.
Well, they've always been, I'm going to use the word, problematic.
I can take the problematic down to the specific problem. They re-encode, at least last time I checked, they re-encode the actual file, and they'll put ads in that. And Stitcher's been running ads in front of podcasts for a long time, and I know I've sent them many requests, hey, how does this work? And they just don't reply. There's no way to reply. There's nothing comes back. There. Yeah, nobody there at all. So, yes. No morality clauses for us is I guess what I'm saying. No morality clause. Why should we let anybody make any money off of us, off of the hard work, 15 years of support from our Gitmo Nation producers? I don't think that's, I just don't feel good about it. So,
well, they can make money the way our ancillary operations make money, the cup manufacturers and the people who do T-shirts and that sort of things. They can just kindly put our podcast up and just leave it there.
You grant Spotify a non-exclusive, transferable, sub-licensable, royalty-free, fully paid, worldwide license to download, digitally transcode, modify, make copies of,
Can't do that.
Create derivative works from.
Well, that's out. Can't do that.
All right.
The podcast is a standalone.
Yes, exactly.
Unless somebody specifically, Jennifer Buchanan, Dame Jennifer, does stuff that's beneficial to the podcast. In other words, the stuff she does is for the podcast. It's not for, it wouldn't be, Spotify does stuff for Spotify.
Yeah.
That's no good.
Exactly. So I think we've had our meeting, right?
Seems so, yeah.
Okay.
I thought we already had this meeting sometime back.
But everyone gets really confused. And it's like, this censorship, I'm canceling. There's no evidence of censorship.
No, I think they're fine. I think that's exactly the attitude they should have.
Okay, that's John C. Dvorak. Yeah, tell them it's censorship, damn it.
You had it before, you're just playing it, now you're not playing it anymore, you bastards.
All right, now let's go to the 45 cycles, man. We got to go to the 45 cycles. This is... The world is in trouble because we have, in particular, our producers in Gitmo Nation East in the UK, Gitmo Nation Down Under. They are being played so hard right now, and so are we, as we really have fully transitioned from flatten the curve. What was that curve? What curve did we have to flatten? It's hard to remember, actually. Do you remember what the curve was that we needed to flatten?
Yeah, it was the initial hospitalizations that were going to happen because the thing was deadly.
Yes.
And so you're going to be a lot of deaths, and we're going to swamp the hospitals, and so we had to do everything we can to flatten this curve, which was the curve that goes up as cases go up, and then it starts to come down as it starts to round out. And then there'd be a second wave, a surge, which would be much smaller, but the hospitals would be ready for that. And it was all going to end, by the way, in Easter, as you recall.
Yeah. Well, that was the curve then. The curve has just been kind of swapped out for this curve of cases, which is
the cases curve is new.
Now listen to the way it's being played now in Scandinavia.
It's not unexpected. Maybe most people don't want to admit it, but COVID fatigue has set in.
Because I live in an apartment, so I don't have guests, but I definitely do go out more now.
Ever since everyone started easing off, I'm not gonna, my parents also started easing off on me, so I didn't take it as serious as I should have been, I guess.
And that's the message from Canada's top public health officials.
Given what we just seen in the numbers, we have to act now in those big jurisdictions, those urban areas right now.
New projections show on our current track, the country could hit 5,000 cases a day by the end of October.
Are you kidding me? They've gone straight to the cases. They're frightening people over cases, which means you've tested positive, doesn't mean you're sick, doesn't mean that you have anything, doesn't mean you'll develop any symptoms, but now we've gone from hospitalizations to cases. 5,000 cases a day. Oh, Lordy.
But if contacts and gatherings are reduced, Canadians can once again flatten the curve.
Flatten the curve.
We got to flatten the curve again? How many times you got to flatten this curve? Can I say something that we haven't discussed? The nature of these health department officials. Some of these people are the weirdest looking people you've ever seen. They're freaky, they're screwy looking, and they're little Hitlers now. Little Eichmanns, as they used to say. They have all gotten a big head because they can control the public, and they like it, they enjoy it. And they're the ones I think are largely responsible for this. These health department, I've worked with the health department people before, and they always feel slighted. They always feel, nobody pays any attention to health.
Right.
And now they've got the power, and now they're abusing it. And if you look at them, we are looking at some of the freakiest weirdos. Women with hair that goes straight out in every direction. Women that look like they should be, if they're not, should be dead. There is a lot of very screwy looking people in this business, and they're taking advantage of the public's goodwill.
There are some men as well.
Most of those have transitioned, to be honest about it.
I don't see any evidence that we're making changes now, to be perfectly frank.
Instead, bubbles are growing. They now include entire classrooms full of kids. Restaurants and workplaces have reopened, and private gatherings have proven tough to police.
I don't think people are going to easily go back to control measures again unless it is, thrust upon them.
Health authorities insist targeted lockdowns could happen at some point, but disease trackers say this virus could get out of control fast, triggering a wave of infections much bigger than the first.
Wave of infections has nothing to do with what happened the first time around. The curve was about hospitalizations, death rate, not ventilators, not about infections. And of course, we know we've increased testing. I'll get to that in a moment. In Australia, this is the same thing. The people who are dying are 100 years old. Every day the list is 90, 95, 102, 102. We shouldn't be locked down. We should be jumping up and down and celebrating that person's life. You made it. You made it, Centennial. No. Sky Australia, I don't know. Are they broadcast there? Do people actually watch Sky Australia? Because they're saying the right shit over there. And why aren't
Not that I know of.
Why are they shut down? Or I don't get it. Listen to this guy.
Now, one of the big challenges in understanding this virus and how best to respond is trying to work out what on earth is going on in Europe now with its second wave. Now, as I've noted a few times, and again last night, something very strange is going on there. You take France, a huge second wave of infections, bigger even than the first one. Look at that. But no increase in deaths, which is strange. And the same pattern you are seeing now in many other European countries. Holland, Belgium, Britain. Here, Britain. This is Britain. Big second wave of infections. But look, not a second wave of deaths, or not yet. Although I have to say, you probably have expected that second wave of deaths to show up by now. I think we've got to figure out this mystery, because we can't assume that Australia won't be hit again and again with waves of this virus.
Yeah, because it's just cases. It's just cases. The same thing is happening here in the United States. Dame Jamie actually sent me a nice list, put it in the show notes, of misleading headlines about schools. So the headline will say, 55 kids quarantined. We're only 4 tested positive. 58 quarantined. School closes. 3 tested positive. It's like 139 quarantined over 3 kids. 150 for 4 positive. And this is just cases. It doesn't mean the kids are sick. It's just cases. And these cases are determined by and large by the PCR test. The PCR test, which in its essence looks for any microscopic bit of what you're looking for. And by
as we've discussed on the show,
I have to do it again. I have to keep saying it. I have to keep saying it. The only way you can find it is if it's called a spin. You spin it up, and the standardized number of cycles is 30. Because if you spin it up too much, well, why don't we listen to the inventor of the PCR test, who sadly died last year. The coincidence and the inconvenience of it. This is in 1993, and he's also a Nobel Prize winner in chemistry. His name is, I think it's Mullis. I think that's it, Carrie Mullis. Here's what he said about the PCR test and how they work, from the horse's mouth.
How do they misuse PCR?
And by the way, this question is being asked in relation to HIV, which is very similar to this scam.
To estimate all these supposed free viral RNAs that may or may not be there.
I think misuse PCR is not quite... I don't think you can misuse PCR. The results, the interpretation of it. See, if you can say, if they could find this virus in you at all, and with PCR, if you do it well, you can find almost anything in anybody. It starts making you believe in the sort of Buddhist notion that everything is contained in everything else, right? I mean, because if you can amplify one single molecule up to something that you can really measure, which PCR can do, then there's just very few molecules that you don't have at least one single one of them in your body, okay? So that could be thought of as a misuse of it, just to claim that it's meaningful. And it is. No, there's very little of what they call HIV, and what's been brought out here by Phil Pott and Isai already, the measurement for it is not exact at all. It's not as good as our measurement for things like apples. An apple is an apple. You know, you can get something that's kind of like, if you got enough things that look kind of like an apple and you stick them all together, you might think it is an apple. But and HIV is like that. Those tests are all based on things that are invisible, and the results are inferred in a sense. PCR is separate from that. It's just a process that's used to make a whole lot of something out of something. That's what it is. But it's not. It doesn't tell you that you're sick, and it doesn't tell you that the thing you ended up with really was going to hurt you or anything like that.
Okay, so do we understand what he's saying? He's saying everybody's got something of everything in them, and if you just turn it up and amplify it enough, you can say, oh, you have it, and you're going to die. But it could be a single molecule that you've, by abusing the cycles, can then amplify.
Yeah, spinning that swab.
Yes, so I have in my possession here, and
by the way, I think we should have some cartoons. You take the swab and you put it on the end of a drill.
That's right.
And shove that down someone's nose.
That's not quite where the spinning takes place, but okay. That takes place in the assay.
Oh, you're talking about the centrifuge.
Yes, the assay.
I think the spinning.
I like it. I think it's funny. So I have in my possession and posted in the show notes a camera shot of the most recent, just received, I think, 2 days ago from our anonymous lab technician. The Thermo Fisher assay. Thermo Fisher, big lab. And I'm looking at it right now. It's the setup, how you're supposed to set it up. And there it is. How many cycles do they recommend? 45. Where the standard is 30. It may not mean much to us, but to lab technicians, they will scratch their head and say, because you can cycle up anything you want. Now, listen to Mrs. Kerkhove of the World Health Organization as she is asked about PCR tests by the media. Now, with this in mind, remember, these are being sent, these assays with the setup instructions of 45 cycles. These are being sent to lab technicians, certainly in the United States, but I presume all over the world. And with that in mind, listen to her answers.
Maria, one of our viewers is saying, if PCR test is not accurate, is there any new test to check out for COVID-19? You did mention there are new rapid tests. Maybe we can also explain to viewers how many different type of tests are there and what do they measure?
Let me correct something first, though, because we see the part of the question was PCR are not accurate. PCR tests are accurate. PCR tests are very, very accurate. They are highly credible. That is what is being used globally. So please let's clarify that.
So let's just make sure, because we know people are questioning these tests, but they're highly accurate. This is accurate. You cannot question that they're accurate. No mention of how they're being used.
What we were trying to highlight were the number of ways in which they can be used and how they should be used. But please be sure, PCR tests are accurate. There are different types of tests. So the PCR tests are looking for the RNA, these pieces of the virus that you are infected with. And there's lots of PCR assays that are available. And as Mike was describing, part of the goal of the consortium of WHO was to make sure that the right tests went to the right countries to utilize the machines that were in the country. I was amazed by this because it isn't just about we have 100 million tests or 26 million tests or whatever it is. It's about getting the right test to the right technician in the right lab in that country.
So what she does not explain is why it sounds to me like she's saying it's different tests for different countries, for different labs, and she's making it sound like that's because the lab is different or their machines are different. The way I hear it now with this knowledge is we got to make sure we send the ones that show the false positives to the countries who want to shut down.
Well, that's what they're doing, aren't they?
Yes, but it's disgusting. And nobody is questioning this except for, people who are told to shut up and get deplatformed.
Only the deplatformed duo.
Oh, I like that. Deplatformed duo. I'm going to write that down. That's a good one. So there's just, that's really all I can say is it's a huge, massive scam, and we've been transitioned from flatten the hospitalization and death curve to flatten the case curve. Well, the only way to flatten that is to stop testing or to make sure we have proper tests.
That's never going to happen. I think you have to keep, and I did mention we've discussed this exact same topic over 2 or 3 shows, but you continually find new clips.
Yes. I know.
And so as long as you're finding new clips, I don't think, although it may be at the point where we can go back to the original clips and start playing them again, but I don't want to dissuade you from continuing on this path.
Thank you. Well, let's move because we're transitioning. We are transitioning in a very important way. And the transition is what we predicted. I hate to say it. We said, for sure, now that we all know, this was in the beginning. This was back in March, when I certainly thought we'd be out by April 8th or something, or whatever it was.
Easter.
Well, that was after, Easter. But I think it was after I made my initial prediction, which was based upon an $8 billion tab that had to be spent by whatever it was.
Yeah.
So clearly I had no idea what was really going on behind the scenes. But they're now in transition. When I say they, it is everyone you see on television on mainstream. It is every politician. It is religious leaders at this point. Everybody is in on it. We need to transition, and there's no better place to find out what's in store for us from the global new world order, the globalist elites, the United Nations, than listening to the Great Reset podcast from the World Economic Forum, because you can pick up the entire plan right there. Again, the Great Reset is what they call it. The Great Reset.
They're not hiding it. No, they never hide it.
No.
This is like you look at the Council on Foreign Relations, their membership list is on the web. You can look and see if somebody's a member or not. If nobody's hiding anything, they figure, they're hiding in plain sight.
Yes. And that's why it's never really seen as a conspiracy. To shut up, man. These people know what they're talking about. I mean, how can you argue with Gorilla Girl? You can't argue with Jane Goodall. She is the gorilla lady. So I don't care what you want to do. If you went out there and said
chimps, I think she was chimps.
No, she was gorillas. Gorillas in the mist. If you can't
gorilla my dream.
You just can't go out and say she's full of crap, and then people will laugh at you. But listen to what she's saying, and you get a whole different picture.
And the tragedy is that this pandemic has been predicted, and to some extent it's been caused by us, because we've disrespected the natural world, we've disrespected animals, we've created environments which make it much easier for a pathogen to jump from an animal to a human, where it may cause a new disease.
She's still on. She still thinks it's coming from a bat. So, okay, it's our fault. We have not been in touch with nature, so it's our own fault.
A zoonotic disease, as it's called, such as COVID-19. Unfortunately, COVID-19 was incredibly contagious and has raced around the world, causing so much havoc, so much suffering, so much economic chaos. At the same time, all the time, we have been threatened by a much greater challenge, and that is climate change.
No.
To a great extent, it's the same disrespect of the natural world that has led to this climate crisis, because this planet has finite natural resources, and we've been plundering them in many places faster than Mother Nature can restore them. We're in the midst of the 6th great extinction. We depend on healthy ecosystems, and the healthy ecosystem depends on the biodiversity.
I also love
So
how...
when did she get her degree in climate science?
Thank you. How about virology? Either one would be interesting.
We need to move into some of these innovations of science, like solar, wind, and tide.
Solar, wind, and tide.
Energy. Otherwise, for my grandchildren and theirs, the future is more than grim. It's very dark. We mustn't let that happen. We have a window of time which is closing, and we need everybody who cares to get together and find solutions.
We're
now.
all gonna die!
All right, so not to be undercut, also part of this Great Reset group is Prince Charles.
Without swift and immediate action at an unprecedented pace and scale, we will miss the window of opportunity to reset for a green-blue recovery.
Green-blue recovery. This is new. I had not heard the green-blue.
No, did he say new?
He said, I think he said blue? I think he said green-blue. Let's listen.
For a green-blue recovery.
I think he says blue.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Green-blue, yeah. Green-blue recovery.
Maybe singing a green-blue algae.
Oh, yeah, that could be.
For a green-blue recovery and a more sustainable and inclusive future. In other words, the global pandemic is a wake-up call we simply cannot ignore. Having been at this now for...
He just, in other words, we can't ignore this pandemic wake-up call. He's just connecting that by himself with no logic.
The global pandemic is a wake-up call we simply cannot ignore. Having been at this now for well over 40 years, I have long observed that people tend not to act until...
I'm sorry, I misunderstood him. When he said, been at this, the first thing I thought was inbreeding.
He might have meant that even.
Been at this now for well over 40 years, I have long observed that people tend not to act until there is a real crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, that crisis has been with us for far too many years, decried, denigrated, and denied. It is now rapidly becoming a comprehensive catastrophe that will dwarf the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. At this late stage, I can see no other way forward but to call for a Marshall-like plan for nature, people, and planet. With the planetary emergency so critical, with the permafrost melting in Siberia, for
the lungs of the world,
instance, producing dire effects on global warming, and with the Pantanal in Brazil being consumed by unprecedented numbers of fires, we could no longer go on like this, as if there was no tomorrow and no ultimate reckoning for our abuse of nature. So, what do? Without doubt, we must now put ourselves on a warlike footing, approaching our action from the perspective of a military-style campaign. That way, working together, we can combat this most grave and urgent challenge. If we have the resolve to shift our trajectory, we must start now by bringing forward our net zero target.
We'll bring forward our net zero target. Tighten the noose. It's got to come forward. Not to be underplayed or not to play his part on the world stage, Dr. Tedros from the World Health Organization weighs in.
The pandemic has also shone a bright light on the delicate relationship between people and planet.
How has it shown that? I haven't seen much of the planet. I've seen the inside of my house.
A relationship that must be nurtured through a One Health approach that recognizes human health is intimately connected to the health of animals and our shared environment. WHO has launched its own Green Manifesto for a green and healthy recovery from COVID-19.
So we need a green and healthy recovery. Well, you know where this is going, and you have a clip that's going to kick it all off, but I do want to point out this has gone all the way to the Speaker of the House in the UK.
It was reported that this man in Britain wants to impose the same type of horrendous lockdowns and restrictions that we are seeing for COVID, but for climate change. Yes, that's right. Who is this lunatic? Some mad Extinction Rebellion zealot? Or maybe Tim Flannery's crazy uncle they keep hidden in the attic? Nope. This is a former Labour minister and now the Speaker of the House of Commons, Sir Lindsay Hoyle. Yep, the highest authority in the House of Commons wants lockdowns for global warming. He said at a G7 meeting this week that if there was one lesson governments should take from the pandemic, it is that, and I quote, people are prepared to accept limitations on personal choice and lifestyle. So he says this should also be true for climate change.
And we need to fight back against this. We've been conditioned. We are tired. Everybody's very tired of listening to it, thinking about it. I mean, a good friend of ours got COVID a couple days ago. She said, hey, I don't know if I was around you guys, whatever, but I feel really crap. And I'm sure she'll hopefully be okay in a day or two. One of Tina's friends who was at the wedding, actually, her husband got it. She didn't get it. He got it. He had some shakes for a day and some chills, and now he's going to be okay. People don't seem to be dying, and he's in his 60s. People don't seem to be dying from this the way they were. They don't seem to be going into the hospital the way they were. But we're going to use the tired masses who are just like, oh, whatever, just leave me. Oh, fine, I'll sit here. Oh, I'll put the mask on. And we have to fight against it. You want to give me your lead in to the BBBs?
Yes. Well, one of the things that's developed is, this clip is kind of the beginning of it. I got this clip from one of our Canadians, and it's from CKNW with Linda Steele and Eric. This is a 3:00 zoo kind of a news. They have a news show. It's kind of like a zoo.
Hey, everybody.
And they're discussing, yeah. Which is, the more I think about it, the better I like it. Yeah. And this is a clip from the show where they introduce a new term. They're bringing it up in Canada, and there's some mysterious aspects to it. When you listen to this clip, you're going to be scratching your head.
Well, stay tuned for that. Also, there was the big throne speech today, and the Trudeau government had been kind of hinting that it was going to be big and bold, and they were going to build back better. That's their new tagline for everything. It was like,
that's horrible.
They paid somebody a lot of money.
So much money. I made a quick song to make fun of it.
Did you really?
If you hear it.
I do. Bring it on.
We're building better back. They actually paid someone to think of that. Yep. Here's something I came up with really fast.
Hold on a second. No Agenda producers. Shame on you. Shame on you for coming up with that for these guys.
Yep. Bring back better before back. Yep.
You got it mixed up. It's build back better.
Oh, I screwed up.
Well, see, I mean, it all starts with a B, because apparently it's all about alliteration.
That's right.
However, how exactly is the Trudeau government going to build back better? And by the way, I loved your song.
Oh, thanks.
Who was that? Vanilla.
Justin Timberlake. Sexy back.
I was going to say Vanilla Ice. I don't know. God, what's wrong with me?
I don't know.
Anyway, the Governor General, Julie Payette, she gets to read the throne speech, and she said there's two primary needs of Canadians the government's going to address.
The first is to help Canadians in the short term, to do whatever it takes, using whatever fiscal firepower is needed to support people and businesses during the pandemic. The best way to keep the economy strong is to keep Canadians healthy. The second need is to build back better with a sustainable approach for future generations. As the government builds a plan for stimulus and recovery, this must be done responsibly.
Build back better.
God, I like these guys, but couldn't they just do one Google search on Build Back Better and get a little informed?
This is the thing. There's two interesting things to this clip. That what you just said is one of them, which is, did the Canadians just steal this from Biden and they didn't want to say anything? And because apparently the public doesn't know this. And my producer in Canada said that nobody knows about it but her, because she listens to the No Agenda show.
Yeah.
But even worse than that is that Biden stole it from the UN, which we've traced, and it probably goes back even further. And the question remains, and the joke of their presentation was, they paid a lot of money for that, I bet.
Yeah.
As if a consultant came in. Maybe they did pay a lot of money, which means they were really taken to the cleaners.
Yeah.
But this seems to me to be still code for the globalists. And this is coming right out of the UN, and it's like I don't know how they kept it hushed up so much.
Because the code is known, and we don't. It's like Fight Club. You don't talk about Build Back Better. This is not a thing. Also not on Fox News, by the way. This is being completely suppressed. It's in our face. It's in our face all the time, every day on television. Build Back Better. It says it right there. We've become so numb to stuff.
It's pathetic. But can I mention one other thing? I watched the Biden North Carolina speech. I'm not sure that we'll find out when the debates come, if they ever do next week on Tuesday. Biden never said Build Back Better again, and he doesn't have it on his signage. And it's as though they've decided to drop it.
Well, not so for Justin Trudeau of Scandinavia.
While we're dealing with this pandemic, I don't want you or your parent or your friend to take on debt that your government can better shoulder. So yes, in the short term, we'll keep investing. But beyond the emergency, as we start to build back better, we must do that in a fiscally and sustainable way. Investing for our recovery must be done responsibly.
So we're just building back better, just so you know, it's done. We're building back better. But this has now reached the King of the Netherlands. You know, the king whose wife flirted with me? Ha! The Queen? That guy. Here he is.
Everyone who helped draft the UN Charter in San Francisco in the spring of 1945. In a radio message, President Truman called them architects of the better world. They came together after half a decade of war and human suffering.
Yes.
The differences between them were great, but they were all driven by an unshakable resolve to build back a better world. Their ambition became reality as more and more countries joined the UN. Both my generation and the next are grateful for the opportunities this has given us.
So that's really the origins. UN started in the 40s, and this has been a globalist plan all along. And I think that the Biden, whether they use it now or not, is a signal. It's like, we're in. It's all right. Everybody who's in the system, who knows about Build Back Better, we're in.
Yeah.
It can't be much more than that. It's just a signal that we're good to go. And it connects completely to climate change. And I have to say, I'm very, very pleased with what's happening in Texas. We now have the Republican Party of Texas has have passed a unanimous resolution against Governor Abbott, and they're saying open Texas now. And this resolution passed, of course, a Republican dominant state Senate. It passed, with flying colors, and it doesn't mean crap other than we're tired of it, and you've got to stop this. We are being destroyed. Everyone's being destroyed. There's no reason for this. God, I went to my spin class yesterday, and I have to walk from the parking garage to the spin class. It's like a block. And everybody in downtown Austin masked up, all except for the workers who were smart, the homeless guys. Although they've got one when they need to go solicit for money, they throw on a dirty ass mask. And so I'm just walking, minding my business. I've got no mask.
No mask on.
And there's a lady coming from the opposite direction. Check it out. She's masked up. Masked up. She's got a baby stroller with 2 dogs in the stroller and 1 dog walking next to the stroller. And she sees me. She gets off of the sidewalk onto the street to go around me.
With dogs in the stroller?
With dogs in the stroller. There's a dog in the stroller. Oh, what you gonna do?
Dog in the stroller.
It's out of control. I got a nice boots on the ground report from Amsterdam. where they're also, it's the same thing. Second wave, all based on cases, all based on PCR tests. And he says that what's interesting is there's a very lively house party circuit since, they have actually opened up some clubs that people can go to, but you got to leave by midnight because after midnight you can die from COVID. And he says what's ironic is that all of these illegal parties are organized by leftist douchebags who during the day are virtue signaling about how horrible it is and how we have to social distance and wear our masks and be careful. But at night, they're the ones organizing the illegal house parties.
That sounds about Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, let me just transition right into Hollywood. So we saw the Emmy Awards.
Did you get a clip?
Yeah, I got one clip. The Emmy Awards had the lowest ratings in history. Even worse than the Academy of Country Music.
So, they were worse by about 3 million viewers.
Yeah. But I understand what happened. All of a sudden, it hit me. The reason why these award shows in particular are failing is because they are built around huge industries. Fashion, gossip, TMZ, movies, promotions, all these things that always are focused on the Academy Awards. The people who are presenting have movies to promote. All of this, it's huge. It's hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars. The live telecast, the red carpet, all of that fell away. So we had no hype. We had no reason to watch. And when you take away the celebrity and the fashion and the music and the gossip and all these industries that mainly surround media, you're left with an empty shell of self-congratulatory douchebags that nobody gives a crap about. And it was politicized, unbelievably. By the way, I thought some things were pretty funny. I like that they made a real television show with what they had. And they definitely did some good things. And I watched the whole thing.
Well, I couldn't watch the whole thing.
But at a certain minute, I love Schitt's Creek. Great series. But Dan Levy, shut the fuck up, Canadian. Don't tell us how to vote. Don't tell us what to do. You're accepting all the awards in Canada. You're Canadian. Go away. Don't tell me what to do. I love that you won. Congratulations, everybody. But then to virtue signal and to do all this, tell us what to do, screw
I know, he's
you.
almost making a mockery of one of the characters he used to play on SCTV. The blowhard guest.
Which takes me right to the very uncomfortable Anthony Anderson bit with Jimmy
that's
Kimmel.
when I turned it off. I couldn't take it.
So if you've ever seen Blackish, what he was doing a version of Dre on the show. And Dre is this really proud black man who's standing up and, and Blackish I like the show a lot. It's very funny.
It's very well-structured comedy, and it works.
So so now he's going to do his character, but he took it a couple steps too far because there is such a thing as neuro-linguistic programming, and there is such a thing as just being an asshole.
But instead of that sexy melanated energy, here I am, alone in a sterilized green room, trying not to sneeze on a llama. What a damn shame.
Actually, an alpaca.
All right, don't white-splain it to me, Jimmy. Sorry. It should have been a pit bull.
So,
But not tonight. No, not tonight. This isn't what it should have been, Jimmy. But you know what? I'm still rooting for everybody black.
Yeah, he started off this whole rant by saying this was supposed to be the Black Emmys. I thought it was just about TV shows, but it was going to be all black people winning, all black speeches, all great words from black leaders. Okay.
Because black stories, black performances, and black lives matter. Say it with me, Jimmy. Black lives matter. Louder, Jimmy. Black lives matter. Louder, Jimmy. Say it so that Mike Pence can hear it.
That's when I was done with this guy. the guy is out of his gourd to say these things. And I think they hurt themselves. I think Hollywood hurts themselves. I think that everything is just, that is the definition of being divisive.
Black Lives Matter.
And programming people to say this is just wrong.
That's right. And because Black Lives Matter, black people will stay at home tonight to be safe, which is fine because guess what? Y'all don't know how to light us anyway.
Okay, I'm sorry. So we suck. White people suck. Thanks, Dre. Thanks, man.
I'm glad I got that off my chest.
I am too, yeah. I'm glad you did.
I'm appreciative that you've given me a safe space to say this from.
No, it's my pleasure. You know that, yes.
Could you scoot over so I can stand on this star?
Okay, yes, I will.
Bring out.
Okay.
All right.
So it's just horrible. And it's part of the Hollywood vibe. I had a conference call on Monday or Tuesday. And it's this, so it's a Dutch guy I know, I've known for 35 years, and he owns half of a catalog of all of the television shows and interviews with even the raw footage. He got the whole kit and caboodle of my four years in television in the Netherlands, which is, there's a lot of big names in there. It's a lot of early stuff. And he had some idea where he would want to do something and kind of like a revival show for the Netherlands. So I'm interested in talking to him. And then, so on this, we had talked before, and then he brought in his partner, a U.S. A guy from San Diego, who owns the other half of the catalog. And he owns a lot of catalogs, and he licenses to everybody. And it's a very simple business. You buy up performances, all kinds of different television shows, and then you can license clips when people do documentaries or they want to refer to it, or sometimes they make their own products. And here's how I should have recorded it, but here's how the call went. Hey, so you're in Texas? Yeah, I'm in Austin, Texas. Oh, the only place you can still be a Democrat in Texas, huh? and I'm not taking this bait. And I like my buddy in Holland, and I don't know if he's aware of how polarized things are. I say, well, it's actually pretty even-keeled here. It's like, I think there's a lot more even-keeled than you think. He said, yeah, but please, Texas is just Republicans. My God. He like this. I'm not kidding you. And I say, well, yeah, we really just don't give a crap about what people vote here. There's not a lot of anger about it. We just and I'm not gonna say anything to him other than that. I'm just, And then he said, well, how about those hats? They're big, cowboy hats. I said, well, yeah, ranchers, and maybe if we dress up fancy. Yes, at this point
you should have recorded this.
Yeah, I know. And he said, I can't stand the hats. It's like, well, we still wear the boots. No, boots are cool. Boots are cool. Oh, well, anyway, yeah. Well, looks like we're going to be in this lockdown for another year. I mean, the guy is completely mind-controlled and a complete dick. And that's what it's like. I don't have to deal with any business people. I haven't for years, for over a decade. Don't have to talk to anybody. Don't have to do any real meetings about stuff. And the one time I'm confronted with an actual industry meeting, I see the problem. And it was the introduction. He was like, virtue signaling, let's see if Adam's on my team. It really, really was sad. And I should have recorded it. But there will be another chance. So hopefully, because what I should have said was, there's a lot of Californians coming to Texas, so I guess we'll be okay.
I don't know. I don't know what to talk to. When you run into a guy like that, it's probably better to precondition him that they shouldn't be talking like that.
Yeah, because I really want to do some business with these guys, but my goodness. And award shows in general, I think, make no sense.
There's even more going on. I was going to post this on Mastodon. The homepage of the Hollywood Reporter.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I don't go to that often.
Well, I like to read the trades. So you go to the front page of the Hollywood Reporter, and people can do this, thr.com. I think it might be one of the entries. You can get to the front page and just scroll down and look at the photos. It's like a collection of the ugliest people. Some of our celebrities, most of them are producers and directors and other. It's just but even the celebrities, the glamour is completely out of Hollywood. The people that were once seen as glamorous, they won't even put a pretty picture of them up anymore.
Good point.
It's just ugly people from stem to stern, and you could scroll all the way down, and it's a jaw dropper. It's like, what happened?
Yeah. Well, they're leading the charge. They're leading the charge of everybody be the same, I guess.
Well, they're leading the charge, but you can see it's on their faces that they're it's almost like suicide. They're suiciding themselves, and they look beaten. They look terrible. I mean, and I'm talking including the celebrities. It's just everybody looks at, and the Hollywood Reporter. I don't know what the editorial staff is like, but they must not like Hollywood at all, which is possible. And they just, even if you have a picture of some ingenue, they just find the ugliest version of her and put her up.
Yeah. A lot is broken. I don't think people realize, certainly Hollywood don't realize, first of all, their productions are broken. You can't produce a movie anymore or a television show, even just a video shoot, without all these union rules of how many COVID consultants you have to have hanging around.
You have to have COVID consultants.
Yeah. Their glamour, they have all broken that magical, mystical wall of their home and their home life, which I think makes a difference. Is the mystique is definitely flowing out of celebrity, Hollywood celebrity. People are tired of, I think in general, of Hollywood celebrities in general giving us a piece of their mind.
We're not looking for their advice.
They're also not producing any new Hollywood content, so they're going to start being remembered by the crap they're putting on Instagram and everything else.
Well, and even when they do a movie, it's DC, it's comic book stuff.
And so award shows in general, which is one of the problem I have with like the podcast awards, it makes no sense to do. I mean, I like the idea of having an association where, you can stimulate growth of an industry, where you can, solicit funds to sponsor things that benefit all of podcasting. But an award show, it's like there can never be a best podcast. Well, obviously there is only one best podcast in the universe, but when it comes down to categories, it's so subjective and it's so splintered that it's kind of bullcrap. Any award show, just look at, they can't even figure out what's television anymore on the Emmys. Well, is it streaming? Quibi was nominated. Quibi was nominated for shows. These are 10-minute videos that play on an app on your phone. It's totally dumb. It's a failed venture, cost $1 billion. So, it's like, we need to do something else. Award shows clearly are only one big part of the, as we've seen, of the massive Hollywood blanket that is thrown around that we're also addicted to. And it fell apart. It fell apart in many ways. And even especially when they go like that, the virtue signaling, all the political stuff, it doesn't make up for great content that we saw. This was all it was. Some dumb awards, no one cares, Canada won it all, and then a bunch of political stuff. I do want to highlight a very fantastic initiative called Project Whiteout, which is sweeping the nation, and anyone can do this. Anybody can participate in Project Whiteout. This is typically done through a GoFundMe, and I have one here. This is, as a white cisgender male, I must make a meaningful contribution to social justice. I need to give up as much of my privilege as I can, knowing I can never truly give it all up. To do that, I will leave my upper 5 to 6 figure career role to make room for people of color. I can help by making more room for people of color in professional spaces. So what will I contribute? I will be giving up between $2 million and $3 million in future earnings. What am I asking of you? To pitch in a small percentage of that to help make Project Whiteout possible. What will I do if Project Whiteout is successful? I plan to devote my time volunteering to help the community. What will be done with the funds raised beyond the goals now? Well, if there are funds raised in excess of the goals listed below, after the GoFundMe fees have been paid, they will be donated to causes that will help the community. I will white out from the workplace within the time frame noted next to each goal. The more that is raised, the faster I will white out. So, $250,000 raised, white out within 1 year. Basically, it's a reverse retirement scheme. So if people donate $250,000 a year, he will retire from the workplace. It's a great idea. You can virtue signal and retire.
You have nothing but contempt for the world.
It's time for a positive change. I think it's very funny. Yeah, I think it's also meant as a
put on.
I think so, a put on. Not quite as good as Saddleback College, though. I think we should just go straight to Noodle Gun, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Where's my Noodle Gun stuff? I'm always missing the Noodle Gun. Let me see if this is it.
I'm gonna shoot you in the face with my noodle gun, you racist piece of shit.
Yes, everybody.
I got my pasta Glock locked and loaded.
This is where the virtue signaling goes incredibly wrong, particularly with racial and political issues and virtue signaling, and it's starting to backfire. So we see Costco is under attack as they have, because the founder of, I think the CEO of Palmetto Cheese, the founder of Palmetto Cheese basically said, Black Lives Matter is bullcrap, I'm tired of it. So Costco removed Palmetto Cheese, and now boycott Costco is trending on Twitter. Well, you got to be careful with those moves you make. We knew that Uncle Ben's Rice was going to change. The new name is Ben's Original. like, woo! Good work, everybody. You remember Princeton University president, he was doing all this virtue signaling about racism and damage to people of color that persist at Princeton. You remember that? It was a whole big thing. Also, wasn't it something about their building or some other racist term?
Racist names on the building.
Racist names on the building. Well, because of his speeches, the U.S. Department of Education is opening an investigation to how racist Princeton is. Good job, mofo. I think that's very funny.
That's ironic.
Yeah. Antebellum, which is another trauma-based entertainment movie, is failing. People are sick and tired of it. ADOS black people reviewing it as, I'm tired of films like this. Of course, it was bound to happen. Brooklyn Street, Black Lives Matter. Nope, yellow letters. F. Cuomo and de Blasio. That's starting to happen. I think that's pretty good. It was removed very quickly, as you can imagine. But I think the best virtue signal of the week and the best noodle gun comes from a Zoom call with the board of Saddleback College. And apparently they make space for students to come in with suggestions. And so you have to, it's a Zoom call. You've got 12 or 13 different people from the administration of this college on screen, and they're taking calls one by one with the excellent suggestions. Remember, we always want to make things better, so if you can remove racist things from our school, that's always listened to.
All right, thank you so much, Cameron. Let's now welcome Cole Hirsch.
Hi, how are you? I wrote a little pitch, if I could read through that.
Please.
Dear Saddleback College, let's face it, our mascot, the Gaucho, is racist, and it's time for him to be murdered. Anyway, I have just the idea for a new progressive mascot for your school. Her name is Titty Pussy, and she's a woke, sloppy goblin girl who rides around the campus on sweat-stained roller skates and begs each student to come out as bi. If a student refuses to do so, Titty Pussy will let out a shriek that has the frequency to change the student's body hair to strawberry blonde. Then Titty Pussy will say, "Tough break, straighty. Have fun sticking out like a sore sore thumb should you ever visit a beach in Palestine. At sporting events, instead of displaying kiss cams on the Jumbotron, Titty Pussy will instead screen promos for her OnlyFans, which mainly consists of her getting off to the school flag. During halftime, Titty Pussy will do her signature dance move, the pop lock and swap it, where she'll make the team swap mouth guards to reassure the fans that none of the players are homophobic. If either team refuses, she'll take a knee for the rest of the game, right in the middle of the field. So, thank you for your time, and I hope you can consider Titty Pussy.
Now wait for the reaction.
All right, thank you, Cole. Let's go ahead and welcome Chloe Johnson.
Well, this guy's got a job in the future working for C-SPAN.
I love how they just say, okay, thanks. All right, next one. Fantastic. Medal for that kid. A medal for that kid.
Oh, that kid was getting high fives from everybody and free beers for the next week.
Yeah.
They've even gotten laid.
Yeah. My goodness. That's how far it's come. I like it. That's America. We do these kind of things. That's humorous. I thought we were losing that, but luckily it's coming back. So
at some point.
Yeah, I feel pretty good that, we may be salvageable. I don't know. Where are we at here?
Well, I've got a few things we can go into.
Yeah, I'd love to.
I don't want to go back in the other direction. We can do some Biden. We can catch up with Biden because Biden gave a speech. It wasn't very good.
How many? I have a question for you. So on Monday or Tuesday, everyone will say, "Oh, well, the Biden campaign put a lid on it at 8:30 this morning. They put a lid on it at 8:30 this morning. There'll be no more Biden today." Is this? And I understand what putting a lid on something means. It's like, well, hey, put a lid on it because we don't want that talked about. But is that a specific journalistic term on the campaign trail, putting a lid on it? Is it an acronym in this case? Or it just seems like everyone talks that way, like we should know that that's the term for what? We're not doing anything?
I never heard of this term in this context. It's something these guys, it's them. I don't know. I'm as baffled as you are.
All right. I just thought it was odd. It's like, what? Why are you doing this? Okay, put a lid on it.
Okay, so nobody's fact-checking anything Biden has to say.
Well, no, why would you?
Well, that's an interesting point. I wouldn't have thought about it that way.
Yeah.
But okay, let's start with some of his... I got a lot of... Okay. Oh, okay. First of all, he's in North Carolina. He's pooped. This is, I think, was like 2 days ago or... may have been yesterday. No, it wasn't yesterday. May have been yesterday.
Yeah.
But he's done. He's talking to a bunch of black folk in North Carolina. He's introduced by the black mayor, who's, I don't know what, she seemed like a dingbat. And then Chris Paul, the basketball player, for some unknown reason, comes out. And I'm surprised he didn't promote State Farm Insurance. But so Biden I just want to give an example that Biden is so pooped at this point that he's faxing it in. I want to play. This is a standard pitch. This is my dad, got it. He says it's every speech he drops this one in about his dad. It comes up to him and says, a job is more than just a money. This is always a good excuse.
But you got to add Joey. He says Joey.
Joey. Well, actually, if you go back far enough, by the way, it used to be Champ.
And Honey. I've heard Honey, too.
I never heard Honey, but I can believe it. But it used to be Champ, and now it's Joey, and it's always Joey. But this is a 21-second clip. I just want you to listen. This is the same old. He says it on every speech, but I want you to listen to the energy, the lack thereof. I mean, when he comes out on Tuesday, they are going to have to give him a shot in the ass.
Just, my dad used to have an expression, everybody's entitled to be treated with dignity. And then he'd say, Joey, a job is about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about your place in the community. It's about being able to hold your head up. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, everything's going to be okay.
Honey.
For too many people, particularly in the African-American community, they can't say that. That's not able to be done.
Well, I've heard him with even lower energy.
Well, okay. The energy could be lower. Yeah. But it's the monotone faxing through it, just waltzing through this little spiel with no emotion whatsoever.
He's zombified.
He's totally zombified.
It's so obvious he's zombified.
Well, he's a little when he's zombified, it's a good time to talk about death. Let's listen to him talk about the new death numbers he's predicting.
Yes, this is a good one.
37,000 more people will be alive today. And we're going to have another influx of cases this between now and January. It's expected that we're going to have somewhere between, depending on which estimate you take, between 138 and 178,000 more deaths. And if people just do what we're doing here, and when you're at a social distance as I am, you can take a mask off, but wear a mask. They estimate that would save about close to 89, 90,000 people.
Okay, so those are numbers we should keep in mind. All right, luckily these clips are all short. So now I got a two-parter, though, and this is the one this is the one that's got some issues. This is where he's scrambling around trying to explain something about how he's going to be spending money and how he's, specifically, I think this is the one about the educational spending. And, this is called Biden OIN.
Hi, I'm Andrea Brown. I'm a second grade teacher. Nice to meet you.
My mother would say, God love you, dear.
It's been difficult, but thank you. So thank you, Chris, for bringing up education and the HBCUs. But as far as K through 12 education, how do you plan to push access to educational equity?
Well, it's a simple proposition for me. I mean, I exaggerated as a second grade teacher why you're so important. If I had only $1 to spend in education, and I could spend it post-graduation or pre-kindergarten, I'd spend it pre-kindergarten. Not a joke.
He spend it on pre-K, so not even on education, just playing with toys and mud.
Well, it's not a joke.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke. That's right. It's not a joke.
First of all, when he says that, are you thinking when he says this, that I want to spend all my money on pre-K, that the first thing you think is a joke?
No, not at all.
Why does he assume? He's assuming you must be thinking it's a joke, or otherwise he wouldn't say not a joke. He thinks most of his stuff must sound like a joke.
Well, it's that. And did you catch the Pledge of Allegiance where he did something similar?
America, I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. One nation, indivisible, under God, for real.
For real. For real. It's changed the Pledge of Allegiance. I like it, though.
Not a joke.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
So he goes on with this part 2 of the same clip.
Not a joke. Because you know as well as I do, based on your educational background, that 60% of a child's brain is already developed by the time they're in their 3, 4, 5 years old.
What?
And so what happens is people start off based on their zip code and their family background. They may start off way behind the curve. You know you have a lot of students who, when they come into school, if they come from a very poor background in a community raised by a single mom or a single dad through no fault of their own, they will have probably heard 1 million fewer words spoken by the time they get to first grade. Right. That by itself is an impediment.
He likes these facts, you know. He likes giving these big numbers out. 1 million less words. Women who are single moms through no fault of their own, no less. That's interesting. Through no fault of their own. Okay.
Yeah. He's talking to a black community, and he's bordering on insulting them with some of these comments.
I'd say it's
so. He's really dancing. He's dancing up there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's doing a good job of it. Now, this one here, you know, Joe has this tendency to. He's really a misogynist, kind of a sex. He's really a douchebag when it comes down to it.
You don't have to pussyfoot around it. He's a douchebag.
He's a douchebag. And so he wants to say stuff that he knows he really is probably politically incorrect, and he already knows he's got a reputation as creepy Uncle Joe. And so he goes a little bit off the track here, goes away from his script, and he talks about, I just don't know what he's thinking or why he even brings it up or why it's some sort of macho thing. And this is Biden and the younger woman clip.
as first lady, as second lady, I should say, she taught 15 credits every semester at a community college. Before that, she taught juniors and seniors in high school for 25 years. I think it was 25. But my point is, a long time.
Yeah.
Although I'm not allowed to tell the exact number because my wife is 30 years younger than I am. I started off not quite that much, but now there's no woman in the entire Biden family as old as any man. But that's another issue. But all kidding aside.
You know what this is? He's trying to... It's like over signaling towards women. It's a weird thing.
But what is the point of no woman being older than any man in the Biden clan?
He got tongue-tied because he wanted to make Jill sound younger. He thinks it's great if you say, you don't look a day over 30, you know, when you know that the hag is 70. That's what you do if you're kind of douchey. You know,
I do that.
No, but no, I don't think you do it like that. I will say, man, did you get your hair done? That looks really good. See, that's... If they had their hair done, you don't just say.
Well, one of my favorite things is you meet somebody's wife for the first time, and I usually do this with an audience.
Here it comes. I was going to say, so you're meeting somebody's wife for the first time, and what is the, I'm sure, insulting thing you say about? I
say nothing insulting. I never insult women when I meet them for the first time.
No, you insult.
I'll say something that's ludicrous, and it'll be like, you must be Bill's daughter.
Oh, no. Wow. Old guy joke. Hello, boomer.
Yeah.
Okay,
it always
boomer.
gets a rise. It gets a rise.
Yeah, that's a really good one, John. Keep that up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
So I only have one more Biden clip, and this one is just an out, and this is a good fact check. When this is just an out and out lie, he makes the claim that the poor teacher that's standing there. Well, just play it. This is the tax lies.
As a new proposal, some of you may like it. I don't know anybody in my neighborhood knows very well, and that is that another $30 billion tax cut for billionaires. You think I'm making it like, billionaires sound like, Bernie Sanders, billionaires are bad? That's not the problem. Problem is reducing the capital gains tax. If you make your money off investments as opposed to sweat of your brow or waking up and getting a paycheck, right? He thinks you should only have to pay 15% of your income. So you'll pay more as a school teacher than somebody making $20 million if they have it's all coming from investments. That's not right. Again, don't want to punish anybody. Just about time everybody pays their fair share.
Yeah, but this is an old trick. This is what Warren was saying. This is what it's crazy that
there's no way that somebody who makes $20 million in investments paying capital gains tax is paying less taxes than the school teacher. No. It's not even close.
Well, what he's doing is trying to call out, make people feel good about, I'm going to tackle Wall Street. Don't you worry. Pay no attention to the money coming in. Pay no attention where that's coming from. I'll take care of Wall Street. I understand what he's trying
to do, but these are the kinds of things that the fact checker should be going after.
Well, I'd like to come back to Biden and the election, etc. We desperately need to take our break, but just tying into that with one transitional clip. This got no play, and maybe I'm misreading it, but I personally thought the news of the $2 trillion that has been laundered by the banks for criminal organizations, for terrorists, for drug rings. It's known as the FinCEN papers. Since these suspicious activity reports of money laundering have been collecting at the Federal Reserve and the Treasury since 1999, all of a sudden, this now comes out. The market dropped 800 points on Monday. It came out on Sunday. Then it has a curious origin, so it just warrants a little bit of discussion. Here's the only clip I could really get about it from Reuters.
Hong Kong shares of HSBC fell to their worst
level since 1995 on Monday, after reports that it and other financial institutions had allegedly moved large sums of illicit money over 2 decades. They revolve around documents leaked to BuzzFeed and shared with a global network of investigative journalists. BuzzFeed and other news outlets say it involves moving money for the likes of terrorists, drug kingpins, and corrupt leaders. The leak is reportedly made up of over 2,100 suspicious activity reports filed by banks and other financial firms with the US Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN. The so-called FinCEN files allegedly show more than $2 trillion worth of transactions from 1999 to 2017, all of it flagged as suspicious by the bank's own compliance departments. The activity reports aren't necessarily proof of wrongdoing, but the leak paints a picture of a banking system that allows for vast amounts of money laundering.
So when I first heard this, immediately my thought goes to that douchebag Comey, who was on the board of directors when HSBC was caught money laundering for Mexican drug lords. And he cleaned that up, and then he left, and we know what the story is with him. The number one... So there's a couple things. First of all, I don't like that BuzzFeed broke this. BuzzFeed is not a journalistic organization, in my opinion. They're a leaky outlet. If you want to leak something, where did the Steele dossier come from? BuzzFeed. Yeah, Mother Jones was involved. But these guys, so they publish these papers, and yeah, it's, you look at them, there's suspicious activity reports. I've had them filed on me, just sending money to my daughter. And, then someone just calls and checks, you get an email or whatever, and it's, so they're quite common, but these are millions of dollars at a time, and it says, well, could be a Ponzi scheme, or don't know why this money is going there, and so they just send it on, and no one does anything. And that is, of course, the banking industry, and of course it's a bunch of corrupt douchebags. But I'm smelling something else. The number one abuser, apparently, up to $1.2 trillion of the $2 trillion listed in these suspicious activity reports is Deutsche Bank. So I'm thinking they've got now 80 quote-unquote journalists around the globe who are combing through these reports. I'm thinking they're on a fishing expedition for Trump. They want to get something about some money that was transferred from Russia to Deutsche Bank, or somewhere in the middle. They're going to put something onto Trump. That's what I think this is about. And at first I thought, at first I thought, wow, this is really quite a scandal, but no one is doing any reporting except BuzzFeed. So this has got to be some kind of scam, don't you think?
I was thinking about that. I think the bigger scandal is that HSBC keeps cropping up in the conversation over and over and over again as a major money launderer.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that really got my attention. I mean, maybe. I mean, it's possible these bankers are, the problem is, I don't know that the problem is with these bankers is that you're more likely to you're just about as likely to end up dead in an alley. If you think you're going to start pulling this shit on them.
Yeah, you don't really want to mess with them. That's so. It smells dirty to me. There's not enough reporting on it.
What was that movie? Was the International or something? It was about an international banking.
Yeah, BCCI, The Internationalist.
Yeah, it was,
that's one of your favorite movies.
There's a lot of, especially you have to assume if there's money laundering and corrupt practices involved. Well, that means there's illegal activity, and that's not beyond somebody who's doing illegal activity that amounts to, what was this number they mentioned at the beginning? $3 trillion?
2.
Your life is worth nothing.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you can go write your little story, but you start really prying and getting in there, like getting into the inner workings. No, this is not going to happen. So they can do all they want. They're not going to get anything on Trump.
Right.
Especially if Trump's the badass that they say he is in terms of being a mob boss.
I see it differently. I think they will find something. Hey, they took it all the way to servers pinging servers in Russia, if you've forgotten, several years ago. That was proof. Oh, yes, their servers are communicating. Like a fucking email list. It's like, it's just, they will stop at nothing, and BuzzFeed, and you know what's going to happen. You just know that they're going to do that. All right. Well, we'll keep our eye on it.
Good luck with that.
And I have not heard from any banksters about this, which gives me even more pause. And with that, I would like to thank you for your courage and say in the morning to you, the man who put the C and took it back out again of HSBC. Ladies and gentlemen, this is John C. Dvorak.
Well, in the morning to you, Mr. Adam Curry. Also in the morning, all feet in the air, subs in the water, the feet on the ground, and all the dames and knights out there.
Yeah, in the morning to the trolls who are, and they've actually been trolling each other this morning. Let's get a little quick count where we got 1,535. Nice to see y'all, trolls. We're back up to speed for a Thursday, I think. That's good. That is noagendastream.com, where you can always find a troll. It's like a big bridge, really. You can check that. No Agenda Stream obviously has a stream, so you can listen to 24/7 podcasts. This show is live. There are many shows that are live, which you can then troll in real time. But also, it's just a cool place to hang out, people who can answer questions. And you can also ask for an invite to noagendasocial.com. You can get that there. And you go to noagendasocial.com, which is our federated Mastodon social network with no algos. We do connect to the entire world if they want us to, and if we want them. It's so much signal to noise. It's the place to be. Instead of some algoized social network. That's noagendasocial.com. And we'd like to thank our artist for episode 1279. We titled that RBG Down. And we had a couple actually, there was a lot of choices. I think it was it correct? No, it wasn't Correct the Record. It was Darren O'Neill. That's right. Darren O'Neill brought us the artwork, the COVID Comedy Hour. And we had a couple. Actually, let's go look at these submissions. And I know you said you wrote down a note of something you wanted to say, and you probably don't.
That could be true.
Okay, so looking at this, we had a lot of ABCs, which are very funny. We like those. The Adam Buzzkill Crackpot Dvorak. We had Darren O'Neill put an actual cheesecake in for you.
I'm sorry, what?
Darren O'Neill put an actual cheesecake in the art selection.
Oh, yes,
for
the
you.
cheesecake girl.
That? Yeah.
I was almost going to use that in the newsletter, but then it was superseded by something much better.
And so March had put in a COVID Comedy Hour, same idea, but it was kind of like a stage, a brick stage, and it was like projected on the wall, COVID Comedy Hour, and no doubt Darren O'Neill's art popped like crazy. With a new favorite background color, yellow.
Yeah, you got black, you got yellow, you got white, you got red. I mean, come on.
It's got to pop. Wasn't there something else you wanted to mention?
Some people complained about COVID. Somebody bitched about it, being it's not funny.
What's not funny?
COVID Comedy Hours, not funny.
Somebody bitched about that? Who bitched about that?
Yeah, it was on the Twitters or it was on the Mastodon somewhere.
Please.
The other ones, I don't think there was anything else that, to me, COVID Comedy Hour was it from the beginning.
Yeah.
I see somebody's already done the drill with the thing on the end of it.
Hey, man, you got to be on the ball if you're a no agenda artist. That's what it takes. It's how it rolls.
I didn't really see anything else that I liked. Besides O'Neill's, he had something else that was okay too, but it wasn't as good as this.
Yeah. I'm so sure you had a note.
I probably did.
I'm going to have to start writing them down, man.
Oh, yes, I did have a note because I just saw the trigger. I saw the triggering mechanism.
Okay.
This is an artist tip. We should probably I'm going to put these in a FAQ so we can so people just look at it because I have to repeat these. There's a picture of Ruth Bader Ginsburg on this page 2, if you look at it, which was submitted by LPW.
Oh, yes.
Any image that is gross or extremely ugly or disgusting in particular,
stomach churning,
will never be picked because you don't want to associate the show with something that grosses people out.
Right.
So if you have a very ugly, homely image or an image that is just kind of creepy or makes your skin crawl or anything along those lines, that's never going to get picked as long as the two of us are picking it. And that picture of Ginsburg, which is all gruesome looking, it just reminded me of that factor. And I think artists should note this, that we want happy images. Not happy, but funny or something that's not gross. That's why I banned all the COVID. I always thought the COVID image was gross.
I'm not even really particularly fond of people in the artwork.
We do minimize that.
For instance,
yeah, we've minimized people quite a bit.
You really can stop with Joe Rogan logos and stuff like that.
Yeah, Joe Rogan stuff. I mentioned in the last go-around. We're not running any of that stuff. It's not the Joe Rogan show we're doing here. Adam was on the Joe Rogan show, so all of a sudden Joe Rogan gets all the attention? I don't think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You made your point. This is NoAgendaArtGenerator.com is where you can participate in this fine critique. If you want to risk being slapped and slammed by us, or maybe lauded, perhaps lauded by the community, or even make a few bob, as artwork is often licensed, quote unquote, by NoAgendaShop.com. They do split up the proceeds fairly. They're great guys over there. That's the kind of collaboration we like, is no contract. Just send us some money when it works out. And we need to thank our executive producers and associate executive producers of episode 1280 with a note from me for the new people. We do have a lot of Roganites who are showing up, and we really welcome you all with open arms. Just to understand, $200 is the associate executive producer level. $300 above is the executive producer level. There we will read your notes, pretty much regardless of what it says. We do that with great love and pleasure. It's a part of the value system. You're giving us value. We gave you value. You get some value back. Often it's good content. You must keep yourself in check. Some of these notes are too long. You're just taking up time. So as much as we appreciate it, you just have to kind of rein it in a little bit, because you're not the only one. Today is a good example. We have very long notes, unless I misread.
Most of the notes are too long. Yeah. Well, not all of them. But the first one's long, but it's for a $1,280.08 donation. So we can, and it's not so long that it's off the spreadsheet. That's the ones that bother me.
Yes, the one that literally scroll out of the cell.
I can't read them. So, but I can read this one. And it is a report from Louisville, Kentucky, from Sir Mittens of the Falls City, $1,280.08. And so he is in Louisville, where they're having a problem. They're having riots. So I'll read his note in its entirety. The sounding of Maxine Waters' gravel on Sunday was the original impetus for my donation today, and this note was seemingly destined to be a playful jaunt through the sillier side of Monation. I figured I would boast about near completion of my exit strategy, share my GoFlip 3 purchase experience with those crucial Uncle Alpha Charlie props, and then round it out. These with a reclamation of Local 8008, by the way. This is the local group up there that has meetups. This truly was delusions of grandeur when considering the comfort in the last 24 hours. I was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. This is my city. No matter how ignorant or petulant I was when speaking about it in my teen years, I've fallen in love with the hometown again and again. This is in spite of my gripes about, it's a nice town, by the way. This is in spite of my gripes about the invisible boundary of 9th Street, that mystical meridian that splits east and west. Rough and safe, the have-nots, and then who cares? The Louisville has laid claim to the many distinctions and curiosities over the course of the American experiment. Never did I think we would add becoming the weaponized punchline to 2020's Kabbalistic cosmic joke to our trophy case.
Yeah.
I'm effing mad, y'all. I'm a proponent of positivity in all walks of life, regardless of strife, but this shit has gone too far. Producers, we don't consent to this cuckolding, loss of liberty, the psychological Agent Orange that almost certain to kill my grandmother well before her time. Yes, COVID is infinitely contagious and lethal, but in ways diametrically opposed to what we're force-fed. Almost daily, I drive past a wall on Jefferson Street with Breonna Taylor's name spray-painted in red, and for weeks I've struggled with understanding the uneasiness it creates inside me. That was until Mo and Adam deconstructed BLM Inc.'s wicked ways of invocation, charging souls and sigils alike with chaos, magic, intention, demanding that we all say her name and give her the ritual, that little extra punch to the gut. To give the ritual that little extra punch to the gut. The aggression will not stand. So again, I will say ITM to all the boots on the ground, a group which equates to each other in every ear that hears these words. This is our rhetorical battleground. We have to bypass the bullshit binary placed in front of us. For the spectrum of love that we all emanate and share as human fucking beings. Thank you for your courage. No Agenda Nation, be excellent to each other. Okay. Well,
I totally understand that. I really do, particularly if you understand the facts of that particular case, and we saw U-Haul trucks rolling up with signs and battle shields and God knows what else. In Austin, they tried it. You know what happened in Austin? They tried to do a little protest and cause a little ruckus here. The police immediately clamped down, made them walk on the sidewalk single file. And they all went, okay. All these idiot kids are walking single file. They weren't allowed in the street. No three next to each other. Well done, APD. I'm proud of you. No time for that. And thank you, Sir Mittens.
Obviously, the Austin police were allowed to do that. Yep. Apparently, that's not the case in a lot of these cities.
I'm going to give Sir Mittens a little karma there.
You've got karma.
Sir Dirt Farmer in Geneseo, Illinois, 361.34. Donation, jingle request, China's asshole. Like the way everyone does it. Okay.
Everyone spells it differently. Yes.
Pew, chemtrails, jobs, karma. I appreciate you doing the work so I don't have to. This donation brings me to baronet status. I don't know if he's... Oh, no, okay, doesn't want to be upgraded. But I will keep my current title. Due to corporate restructuring, I was notified my job was eliminated. I won't know for several weeks if I'm assigned to a new position. I would appreciate a big helping dose of jobs karma. Additionally, please give me some karma to all the parents, producers dealing with home remote schooling for the human resources due to COVID. Adam, we did try to include John in one of our weekly Jitsies virtual meetups calls to discuss the show and current happenings organized by Ron, the Oriental drummer. You were right. John was a no-show.
What did they expect? Did you get an invite?
No, not that I ever remember.
Yeah.
I was a no-show. I never got invited to any Jitsi. I don't even know what you're talking about. Virtual meetup.
Just hang around No Agenda Social long enough, you'll find out. Thank you very much, Sir Dirt Farmer, for your courage.
China is asshole.
Chemtrails. Jobs, and jobs. Let's vote for jobs.
You've got karma.
Joe, plain old Joe at 333.33. Maybe Joe Biden in the morning, John and Adam, with so many 33s appearing in and around last month, my 33rd year of life. Now is the time to donate. Please de-douche me. A shout out.
You've been de-douched.
A shout out to Sir Lineman of the Net Raleigh for hitting me in the mouth and a friendship we share. As a minister, I humbly request an additional to the prayers of the saints and F cancer for 3 members of our flock who are in need of encouragement and healing. To conclude this short sermon, repent and donate. Heed the sign of the 33 as I did. Experience the joy of living with an unburdened amygdala.
That's very interesting. I like a minister asking for F cancer karma. I'm all about that, man. Way to go.
You've got karma.
Nice.
He's an eclectic minister, apparently.
Yeah.
I do, since we mentioned it, this is a good time to play this bad acoustic, horrible supercut that has 33 mentioned on a bunch of these news shows that some guy did at home. Have you heard that? You've heard this.
No, I haven't.
As of today.
Oh, yes, I have.
And I say as of today at this hour, we have...
You know, the audio was so bad on this, I didn't even clip it.
33 confirmed positive tests for the virus.
Yesterday we had 22 cases. Today we have 33 cases. So it's gone up by 11. That brings, those are 11 new cases. 22 goes to 33.
As we sort through this here in Arkansas, today we have 33 confirmed positive cases in Arkansas. As of today, we have 33.
All right, you can kill the clip. Why don't you just put it in the show notes? People can listen to it at their leisure. It's been played a lot, and it was also played by one of the Glenn Beck clone guys yesterday, so they beat us to it. But it's every stays 33, 33, 33. Okay, we get it. There's a signaling going on. We don't know what it means, but there it is.
I actually think that we have that original montage from August. Let me see if it's the one.
As of today.
Yeah, I think we've blown that away a couple times just because it's too bad. Yeah, it works better in video.
Yeah, because you can see them talking, but even in video, it's a lousy, it's like a cam, shot. It's from a screen. It's not clipped from a video stream. It's just shot with a cam. Bill Sola is up next with $333 in Baltimore, Maryland. He's got some jingle requests. It's Eat Kale, It's Science and Sharpton. In the morning, fine sirs. First wave Rogan convert here.
Welcome.
First wave. Haven't missed an episode since. And I also thoroughly enjoy plundering the MoFax time capsule. Not sure what that means.
Well, he likes going back and listening to the older episodes.
Oh. Right. However, I can no longer in good conscience abide this douchery shadow. Please de-douche me.
Yes, of course.
You've been de-douched.
I wanted to donate sooner, but then my career field got canceled. The whole field. And the uncertain times call for staunch frugality. I must have caught some contact jobs karma along the way because I now feel comfortable coming off some of this residual corona hush money. More to follow. Last spring, a VJ saved my life, and I cannot express my gratitude enough for helping me and my special lady friend, Sandy, through these strange days with your deconstructions. I believe you've helped legitimatize and crystallize some of my viewpoints with her, as is often difficult to overcome cognitive dissonance and M5M programming. This is true.
Mm-hmm.
She has a safe word, banana, for when I take conversations a little too far in certain company, and she's only had to unleash it once since we were listening to the greatest podcast in the universe.
Hey, does your family have a word for you or a look when you do it?
No.
No? Okay. They should.
They sit and listen. After 5 years together, I read the audience.
Yeah.
So I don't need safe words. After 5 years together, we got engaged last Friday on 9/18. Well, nice. Congratulations. And the glass couldn't be any half fuller. Could we please get an Eat Kale and Its Science to a health and celebratory Sharpton of your choosing, because that shit is hilarious. And also whatever karma you see fit. Thank you for your courage, Bill Sola, from the rat-infested shithole they call Charm City, Baltimore.
If I can make a comment, Bill, I think I'm very pleased. First of all, the amount of notes that we get with no donation attached, just people who just say, you guys have really helped me get through this lockdown, the weirdness that's happening. We are also very useful, like you said here. We saved your life and cannot express your gratitude for helping with my special lady friend I believe you've helped legitimize and crystallize some of my viewpoints with her. So here, I think, is a good way to do this. You can always, if there's something you want to crystallize with your loved one, you can always play a little segment of the show, and then you have to read the room, because if, let's say, your lady friend looked at you like, holy crap, then feel free to say, yeah, those guys are real douchebags, aren't they? So you can always play it off. We're useful one way or the other, and maybe the next time around you'll get to it. But we appreciate you, Bill, and your banana girlfriend.
Like eat kale,
fiance,
not donuts.
Shut up already. It's science.
RESPICT. You've got karma.
And now you have one that did scroll off the spreadsheet for me, so you can take this one.
This is Sir Jimmy V from Jersey City, Jersey. 333. Please accept this value owed for value received. Yes, we do. About 18 months ago, I wrote to you about a true crime podcast created by my girlfriend and I. We were interviewed, where we interviewed Melanie McGuire, a.k.a. the Suitcase Killer. Adam said that he, quote, hoped we made it to Netflix, while John scoffed, none of our podcasts are going to be on Netflix. How did I do it? Did I do it exactly right? I think I did it right. Well, it seems Dvorak computer mouse anti-karma may again be at work. So mean and unnecessary to say that. While we haven't signed the Netflix deal yet, we are going to be featured on ABC's 2020 this Friday. Oh, that's tomorrow. They're calling it The Secret in the Suitcase. The best part is, due to COVID-19, they sent me a camera and asked me to film B-roll safely during the quarantine. Oh, boy. That's a lot of Easter eggs you can put in. As a longtime No Agenda listener with creative control over the B-roll, I saw an opportunity to propagate the formula through the M5M. I included a No Agenda Easter egg in several shots. A clue for No Agenda producers looking to find it: look on the podcaster's most important instrument. Hopefully, No Agenda viewers will get a kick out of this subliminal message, and perhaps will also plant a seed in the minds of the masses. I think it's got a little NA mic flag or something. I did also try to get my girlfriend to type Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself in the B-roll, but she declined. Since Amy Robach was the one who interviewed her, remember Amy's open mic Epstein scoop moment? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. This project all started from a road trip in which I first hit my girlfriend in the mouth, figuratively. Yes, we know. No Agenda inspired our entry into podcasting was also on this trip that she asked me, have you donated? This, of course, shamed me into my first donation, and since then have earned my knighthood. So for the ladies out there, may I suggest you turn to your partner and ask him, have you donated? Love and light, no jingles, just Netflix karma, which does need a goat twist.
You've got karma.
Thanks, Sir Jimmy B. And
congratulations.
I can't wait to see it tomorrow with the Easter eggs. How cool is that? I like it.
Did you see some of the art that the Batman artist did?
Well, I've seen the Joker with the 33.
33.
Yeah,
okay.
I've seen that one.
Sir Cal of Lavender Blossoms is next on the list. 327.72 from Northville, Michigan. He sent a note in. A note of a pleading note.
Did you receive it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
He said, Adam's server keeps blocking my email, so I thought I'd send it to you instead.
What?
I'm in great need. Okay, here we go. I'm in great need of a new payment gateway plugin compatible with WordPress for my website.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs some WordPress help. We have some WordPress experts.
We got lots of WordPress people here, yeah.
Yeah, we do. Currently, I'm using PayPal to process credit card payments, but they're about to ban me. Oh, this has got a heads up.
Wait a minute. Why are they... because it's CBD? Oh, man, I hate those guys. They're doing this to everybody.
This is not their fault. This is the federal government's fault.
Is it?
They ban people from being able to do banking.
Yeah. Although there's something in the CARES Act that it supposedly specifically says, it's that act that we haven't seen pass yet, specifically for some reason, I think it's trying to stop the banning of CBD and legal THC sales from being deplatformed off of payment systems. I don't know. I just think I saw that.
Well, let's go back to his plight.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I'm using PayPal for process credit card payments, but they're about to ban me. Also, all the major gateways, Stripe, Square, Braintree, don't accept CBD online transactions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping you or one of your listeners know of a CBD-friendly gateway that is secure and doesn't cost a fortune in monthly fees. Anyone with such info, please email me. cal@lavenderblossoms.org. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know if it's doable.
I think it's a losing battle. However, what I can recommend is a BTC Pay server. I mean, yeah, you're going to take.
That's no good.
Well, it's not true that it's no good, but it's better than nothing. It's not that hard to receive Bitcoin, and it's getting easier for people.
If you're an old woman who needs CBD ointment for her hands, so she's not going to do that.
You're telling me that Mimi, if she really wants the CBD ointment and she can't get it anywhere else, she's not going to go through an extra step to do it.
She's not an old woman, A.
Well, I thought you were referring to her.
B, yes.
I was just taking a
I'm telling you that, absolutely. We have stores
John,
all
it's
over
fine.
Washington State.
Hey, look, I don't disagree with you. I'm trying to come up with a solution. I don't give a crap about Washington State. I want a solution for Cal. I'm giving solution.
Cal, what about?
I will pay him with Bitcoin. I will try and help that way. We have to do something. You can't just say, "Oh well, no one will do Bitcoin." You got to do something.
He has to do something that's normal. Some way of getting actual credit card payments through.
Yeah, that's just going away. That's my point. There is going to be no normal.
Your point was that there's in this CARES Act, it's possible that could be reversed. I mean, PayPal's been taking his money thus far. Yeah. I wonder who called. Did somebody call PayPal and bitch? I mean, how do you think this happened?
It's not PayPal. It's MasterCard who does the actual processing. Yeah, Cal, we'll look at Shopify. You may be able to do something with Shopify. I mean, it's really the payment processor. That's MasterCard. MasterCard doesn't want it. They're the ones that won't. It's Visa, MasterCard. They're the ones that won't let you do that for guns, for anything they don't like. It's just it's not going to come. That will never come back. They're never going to bring that back. So trend, you got to do something. I'm just saying that is all I can think of because this is happening everywhere. All kinds of different small companies that just can't get payment processing. So here's an idea. You could just do Venmo. They'll stop that eventually too, but you could try something like that.
Well, my advice is to find some other people in the business and just and discuss it with them because there must have been some workarounds. There's workarounds. They're out there.
I have an idea. This will fix it once and for all. Change the name from Lavender Blossoms to Black Lives Matter Lavender Blossoms. Guaranteed they'll process your payments. That is my idea for today.
That's actually, I hate to admit it, probably a good idea.
It just might work. Give it a shot.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter Lavender Blossoms.
Yeah.
And then if somebody cuts you off, you got a case.
You got a case. Yeah. And
racist.
Yeah, racist. And email me, Cal, about the Bitcoin stuff.
Onward.
Now, so I want to give him a big ass karma because he needs it. Needs help.
You've got karma.
This is an important service that Lavender Blossoms provides.
Cal at lavenderblossoms.com.
Yeah. I think is it .com or .org?
Is it .com or is it .org?
No, I don't remember.
Let me take a look.
Yeah.
I will now look again.
Yeah. I have a feeling it's an org. I don't know why. Maybe
yes, .org. Yeah, lavenderblossoms.org.
So perfect. You're a .org.
Jeez, a .org, and they won't give them the
Black Lives Matter, Lavender Blossoms. Perfect.
Luca Esberto is actually his real name here. He wants using. That's Lucas,
and he's from Switzerland, I think.
He is. He sent a note in.
Yeah.
He's in Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland.
Please accept my $300 rats, which comes in Switzerland, comes in at $325. Swiss francs donation. So finally bring me to knighthood. J. Powell, keep printing paper. Thank you for the biweekly sanity dose, which along with my humble degree in sports sciences, that's all it really takes, some basic physiology notions and common sense, allowed me to tell people, quote, unquote, it's just a bad flu that comes every 10 to 20 years. It's only that this time people are dumber than before. Unquote.
Yeah.
I wanted to give myself the knighthood for my 50th birthday on September 11th, but I could not decide. I don't think we called him out. You put him on the birthday list. He doesn't ask for it, but he was September 11th. It's close enough.
Okay.
Lucas, just call him Lucas CH. Luca.
Okay.
Sir Luca. Okay, now he's going to be Sir. Okay, here's his birthday. Sir Luca of Switzerland.
Okay.
He wants to be knighted as Sir Luca of Switzerland. I don't think I put this in the note to Eric, so you may have to add it.
You're going to add that too. You bet.
Sir Luca of Switzerland, but JC usually pronounces both my names and only my last name last name impeccably. Okay, well, I'm not doing that now because you're Sir Luca of Switzerland. If possible, I humbly request for an Italian from Italy, not from New Jersey, salami sandwich and some American Pepsi to wash it down at the round table.
Okay. Jeez Louise, hold on a second. I'm doing back office stuff here now all of a sudden. Where are we? So we got Luca Asberto. I got to get his name right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Salami sandwich and some real American Pepsi to wash it down at the round table. Also, some judiciary karma would be appreciated as I've been annoyingly sued by my asshole neighbor. If I may, I have a question. I figured out all the no agenda memes since I have been listening to the show, to the best podcast in the universe since 900 or so, except one. Okay, this is a good one because I don't know what he's talking about. When Adam Knight's new people, he says something like, I pronounce the K, the, or KU. What does the K stand for?
Okay, that's not what I say. What I say is, I pronounce-ticate thee.
Pronounce-ticate?
Yes.
So he's not saying pronounce the K.
No, I'm saying
pronounce-ticate, so it's not a meme at all.
I pronounce-ticate thee. Yes.
It's a gag, get it?
Well, it's our official, it's not, you're not a knight or a dame if you don't get pronounce-ticated. Pronounce-ticated, yes. Does anyone have a problem?
He looks forward to meeting you at the round table.
Yeah, well, I'll be there, and I'll have your the Italian salami, of course, and the real American Pepsi. You got it. Promised. And he needs, what did he need, a big-ass karma?
Yeah, he needs something like that.
Here we go.
You've got karma.
Thank you, Luca. See you at the round table.
All righty. Dame Anonymous of the Colonial Place has come in, and she sent in a note. She came in at 325.80 from 320. I'm sorry, she came in at 324. And let's see, got her note here. Sorry for the silly card. She sent a really funny card, actually. Yeah, you'd have to see it. Good morning. This is a birthday donation for my sister, Dame Ann of Grey Rock. I did have her added. She needs some good luck, so I am donating $3.24, which I believe is the lucky Jewish donation. We have to put that on a list. Which is a multiple of 18.
Multiple of 18, yeah.
May I have an Al Sharpton respect, jobs karma, and health karma for her daughter. Thanks for all you do, Dame Anonymous of Colonial Place.
You bet. And since we have a couple of requests for this, now let's play the longer version.
He's getting lunch at Chick-fil-A. The tortillas in the race. Kim Kardashian, Sigourney Weaver, Rush,
R-E-S-P-I-C-T.
They're all jitty.
R-E-S-P-I-C-T.
There's no real conflict.
Resist. We must. Resist.
Just a little bit.
We must.
Just a little bit.
We must.
Just a little bit.
And we will much.
Just a little bit.
About.
Just a little bit.
That.
Just a little
bit. Be committed.
Jobs, 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 and jobs. Let's vote for jobs.
You've got karma.
Noah Wattenmaker, a.k.a. Sir Quoia of the Sierra Batholith.
Sequoia.
256, first associate executive producer, ITM. Request for some sort of natural disaster relief karma for my fellow environmental refugees. If only we didn't eat cheeseburgers or have children, then these climate change-induced fires would never happen.
That's right.
Thank you for your courage.
Sequoia of the Sierra
Sequoia.
Sequoia. You got it? Yeah, you got it. Here it is, man. You got it.
You've got karma.
Sequoia. Sir Mickey Keck in Cincinnati, Ohio, 250. Checking in from Puerto Vallarta for my 50th birthday with my sizzling hot wife, Joyce. the dame of OTR, conveniently enough on the same day as the show. No better way to celebrate the day than with the best podcast in the universe. I built up enough donations to add another dame to the household.
Excellent.
Please, Dame, my daughter, Sarah Keck, Dame Sarah, ruler of small dogs. Keep up the outstanding work. We have 2 houses for sale, so we need a double dose of house-selling goat karma. Thanks.
All
Sir
right.
Mickey.
We got that for you.
You've got.
Oops. Oh. No, now I really have to do 2. What the hell happened there?
You've got karma.
There we go. We'll fix that.
You've got karma.
There we go. Double dose. 2 homes for sale. House for sale.
We'll take a commission. Allison Flesh, 240.69. Making this donation on behalf of my smoking hot husband, Sir Night Night, who turns 40 on the 23rd. We have been staying sane here in northern Kentucky thanks to your hard work and media assassinations. Our governor, King Andy Bashir, has been doing his best to keep the state panicked and locked down, with public schools still not open with mask mandates. My husband and I are both boots on the ground healthcare workers, and knock on wood, have yet to run into any real COVID cases. Let me read that again. My husband and I are both boots on the ground healthcare workers and have yet to run into any real COVID cases or overrun ICUs or ventilator shortages. Our neighbors lovingly refer to us as the conspiracy couple when we discuss any current events and spit the truth rather than regurgitate the fake news that they hear. The couple that no agendas together stays together. Happy 40th, Chris. Could I get a look at that juice, Al Sharpton Respect, which is popular today?
It is popular.
And some goat karma. Thanks for all your work.
Yeah, I can see it's, oh boy. I get notes from people all the time that they say, well, you know, it's like my neighbors came over and, you know, they really are completely on a whole different plane. And I think they kind of, at a certain point, people just are quiet, you know? They just stop. And I don't know it's hard when you have neighbors. What are you going to do with your neighbors? What are you going to say to them? And they call you the conspiracy couple. I say, hey, blow me, neighbor. But you don't want to say that. You know, you want to keep the peace. So, maybe a good karma will indeed help.
Oh my gosh. Can you see that juice?
RESPICT.
You've got karma.
I look at them as lost souls.
Yeah, but they're your neighbors. You don't want to give up on your neighbors.
Well, you don't have to yell at them or throw bricks at the window.
Well, if they're coming over
can
calling
say
you
hi and be nice.
If they're calling you the conspiracy couple.
Well, that's because she happens to say, look, there's nothing going on here. You see no COVID around here.
All right, then you should say, I got you. We'll call you the zombie couple. You got to fight back.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, I think that works.
We have to fight back. We can't keep saying, oh, be quiet just to keep the peace.
Yeah, call them the zombie couple.
Yeah.
Or the 2 idiots that live next door.
That works. Yeah, that works for me. Okay.
David Wright in Harrison, Arkansas, 23456. He wants good Sir Obama, no. Rosie O'Donnell, Hitler, 999. F cancer karma, Putin, don't worry, be happy. General health, recovery, goat karma, ITM, crackpot, and buzzkill donating today and writing this note for some NA-style positive universal vibes, meditations, thoughts, and prayers, or whatever you all choose to identify them as. My dad starts a bone marrow transplant today, and the next course of weeks are crucial for avoiding infection, but the prognosis has been positive thus far. Here's hoping it goes routinely and boring as possible for you pops. No better time in history to get sick than the present, right? Actually, you get some attention. In addition, the shows lately have been epic. Thank you both for your courage. You know, this reminds me of, well, let me read the note and then I'll mention something. The shows have been epic. Thank you both for your courage. We sincerely appreciate you guys for doing the work. Our amygdalas wouldn't be the same without you. Adam, I watched the entire episode of JRE. I always knew you were more intimately connected to the company than just Uncle Don. If that wasn't the bombshell, then I don't know what was.
So
I don't know what that means.
Well, okay. This is my proof that go ahead.
Okay. Well, you want to do the jingles first, then we can go into that discussion because I want to add something else too.
Okay, no problem.
I've been watching you.
No. Come on, where was I? No. Hey, listen, I love you back.
Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy.
Good request. Haven't heard that one in like a week.
So let's why don't you go over what you said that would make someone think you're a spook?
Well, what I said is, I'm not going to tell you what I said. What I like is that this person, David, and one other person in the universe heard me say this. It is near the end of the Joe Rogan interview, and it just proves to me no one listens. No one listens to the whole show. You tuned out after 45 minutes or an hour. Very few people listen. If they're listening, their ears aren't open. So that's it. And if you want to hear it, then you should go listen to that episode and find it.
Well, from someone who doesn't know for a fact, I just know from other methodologies.
Yeah.
Adam is not a spook.
I'm definitely not a spook. I don't think he's saying that either. I'm not a spook.
I thought he was implying it.
Well.
Meanwhile, but the other thing
stop. Then where's my check?
Yeah.
that would be the question.
There you go. Where's the check? So this moment of being a good time to go to the hospital. So I'm listening to, this is about a week ago. I didn't clip it. I could have. It's Scott Adams going on about how he's had some hallucination issues from, I think he smokes too much pot personally. But he was seeing things disappear right in front of him.
Oh.
And so he says he's looking at a ball.
Did his money disappear? Because I can explain that. It's called marriage.
He's not quite with the right woman yet. That'll happen. Yeah,
don't worry. Your money will disappear, Scott. Your house, lots of stuff is going to just go, poof, it's gone.
So he's looking at a ball, it disappears. And the ball, then it reappears, this ball. And then he's looking around, and it happens again with some other objects. And a couple of times, and he got freaked out, thinking he's got a stroke or something going on. So he checked him into the emergency room.
Oh,
checked
really?
himself in.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Spent the day in the hospital. And they gave us a CAT scan or an MRI, because probably an MRI. CAT scans are not that healthy. And they found nothing wrong with him. And the situation passed over. He didn't think anything twice about it. He says, but the great thing was there was nobody in this hospital. And it was just like I got the best care imaginable because I was the only person in the whole place.
Of course.
But he never makes the
He doesn't make the connection?
He doesn't make the connection.
Wow.
He's still all in on COVID.
Is he really?
Yeah, as far as I can tell. Yeah.
What does that mean, all in?
He wears the mask. He thinks we're all going to die.
Oh, okay. Well, he has respiratory issues and all kinds of other things. So, look, anybody can be afraid. It's fine.
It's okay, but I'm just saying he was a skeptic, and he became less of a skeptic, and he became more of a fanatic on the other side. And then he couldn't put two and two together when he went to the hospital. Found there was 0 people there whatsoever.
Well, you have to stop watching him then. He's no good.
Once in a while. He is not. I'd like him to be. He likes to talk. Loves talking.
He does.
Sir Joe Bawan of Weekapog is not necessarily a talker, but he's a donator to the tune of 23456. Wadsworth, Ohio, one of my favorite donation numbers. First off, Jobs Karma works bigly. I'm now working a full-time job and consulting work with my old company, so consider me another satisfied listener, blessed with the collective positivity of the No Agenda family toward my career. Unfortunately, I need to redirect that positive energy away from me toward my wife, Lady Kara. Please send an F Cancer Karma our way. She's been through a successful surgery. We just need the karma to successfully get her through the rest of her treatment. Sure. I know the NA family can help us pull this off and tell that cancer to F off for the next 50 years. I have so much more to say about how great the show is, but I'd rather not get butt slammed by John for writing War and Peace.
Good.
I'll close with requesting Adam to play our 2.5-year-old ISOs, which our daughter Annie doing her best Biden impersonation. She thinks she can win ISO of the day, but I'll leave that to you guys.
Is that what she thinks? Is that what she thinks?
Yeah.
2.5-year-old? Daddy, I want an ISO of the day. Here it is.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's not bad.
It's not
all
bad
the
at
best,
all.
Sir Joby Wan of Weekapog.
Yes, and I need to do 2 karmas because in all the conversation, we never gave David his karma. So
David's karma.
You've got karma.
All right, that's for Sir... Oh, actually, that was for David, and here's...
You've got karma.
And that's for Lady Kara.
And this is a list of 15, so it took a while, but we're at the end. It was anonymous in Calgary, Alberta, where all the money used to be. $200.33. Please keep me in a birthday shout-out to my smoking hot fiancé, Sean. He turns 33, another 33-year-old. We have a lot of those. On September 25th. This is a contribution towards his knighthood fund. And you can keep track of it for us. Request jobs karma, and thank you for your courage.
Oh, that's so nice, Anonymous. That's always appreciated, those kinds of things.
Jobs, 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 and jobs. Let's vote for jobs.
You've got karma.
And that is our group of associate executive producers and executive producers for show 1280. We're getting to show 1300.
Oh my goodness! Hey, when is our birthday? Don't we celebrate our annual thing pretty soon?
Yeah, in the end of October.
And what will that be?
Annual thing.
Annual thing. You know the thing. What
the thing? You know the thing.
The
yeah, no joke.
Thing. What year will it be? Is that 14?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
Oh, jeez. Hey, I do want to say that I got my my gold backs.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, good. I want to say
these are dynamite.
Aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird because, so what we're talking about here is something that apparently is okay for circulation in Utah. And it's a $1 bill and
probably
a $5 bill. Probably. And so it's plastic and a beautiful design, and it's 24 karat gold pressed into this plastic. And the $1 is 1/1000th of a troy ounce, so that would actually be worth more than a fiat paper dollar today. And the $5 is worth 1/200th of a troy ounce. So I appreciate that, but it's weird. It's like, can I fold it? No, because it would probably ruin it. But
it's small enough that it could go in your wallet and not. Yeah, it would fit in your wallet and it would bend.
It doesn't bother me, exactly. And
it doesn't fold, it bends.
And thank you, Jordan O'Donnell, for sending me your book. Got all that. I went to the post office.
Yeah, they're dynamite.
Very cool. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. All right. Do we have any other business to take care of other than saying that these are our top people in the value for value business for the treasure part? That's why we make them executive producers and associate executive producers. It's exactly how it should work. We don't need advertising. We don't need you tracked to have all kinds of targeted advertising thrown at you, which I don't think works that well anyway. And God knows what else they're doing with your information. And we just try to provide value. You get the value. You value it or not. If you don't, then okay, fine. If you do, whatever it's worth to you, could be $1, could be one gold-backed dollar, could be $1,000. That's up to you. We just do our part, and you send it back. It seems to work very well for the entire system, with our artists, with our jingles, with knowledge. In fact, we want to make sure that you can participate in all of the success of the show by supporting us, and go to Dvorak.org/NA. And we really appreciate your time, your talent, your treasure, part of the Value for Value Network.
Our formula is this. We go out, we hit people in the mouth.
Shut up, slave! Yay!
Shut up, slave.
I have a series of clips if you want to listen to them.
I want to. Oh, wait a minute. Don't tell me you're pulling the pod.
No, I've got another series.
Oh, okay. All right. We have an escape pod that we call the pod.
No. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were pulling the pod.
No, this is about the Insurrection Act.
Ah, interesting. Do tell.
And it's a little lecture. It's a 5-part lecture that's worth listening to. I wanted to not, I gotta run out. I try to keep them short, but it's pretty short. It's probably less than 10 minutes, the whole thing. But this is a guy, he's got a podcast. He's one of these, right-wingers that's an ex-military guy. And he's bringing all this stuff in about the Insurrection Act, why it should be used, why it shouldn't be used, who used it. A lot of information is all valuable. And also the fact that we have some officers, retired officers, that are violating one of the military criminal violating some military laws.
Can I just set this up? The reason why the Insurrection Act is in discussion at all is because of what's taking place on the streets with people rioting, with political agendas, and that either being facilitated by people in government or at least them not doing their job to stop it. Does that sound about right? Why the Insurrection Act is now in play?
This one, it's a reason, but the Insurrection Act's been used before for all kinds of reasons. But it's an insurrection. If you decide something's an insurrection, there's an insurrection going on. Let's face it. I mean, that's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But let's listen to this guy. He's very good. The first clip is a introduction to him more than anything else. But let's start with the Insurrection Act breakdown, part 1.
Pleased to be with you today. My topic is, do we risk a military coup? By way of background, let me just say that I'm Colonel Richard H. Black, retired. I was a career judge advocate officer and former chief of the Army Criminal Law Division, Office of the Judge Advocate General at the Pentagon. I played a key role in deploying the 7th Infantry Division to quell the 1992 LA riots. Let me give you a little background to start with. The Insurrection Act is among the most fundamental of all federal laws. First enacted in 1807, it has been used repeatedly to carry out government's most elemental responsibility, that of ensuring domestic tranquility. The preamble to the Constitution lists the task of ensuring domestic tranquility among the 5 purposes for which the Constitution of the United States was created. Nothing is more vital than protecting the physical safety of Americans. Military officials are sworn to defend the nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. On June the 4th, 2020, the prominent publication Foreign Policy published a morning brief entitled Generals Denounce Trump's Protest Crackdown Plan. The brief critiqued the president's threat to invoke the Insurrection Act and subtly disparaged its relevance as a 2-century-old law. But the law empowering the president to quell unrest using military force has been invoked 22 times since its first use in 1808.
I have to say, the podcast really works with the music.
Well, here's another thing. I got another clip somewhere that's got the same kind of thing going on. I don't understand what these guys are thinking. I'm trying to listen to this. I got this music going on in the back.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know where this comes from. Whose idea was this? Is this some podcasting class or somebody took, you play this stupid music?
I don't know. It's setting you up for something. But so I did not know. It's pure bass. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't set you up for anything. But he mentions this. Now, if you start listening to the M5M or the pundits, and they're the ones who, and foreign policy, Hello, Council on Foreign Relations, right,
and other think tanks, they say, it's 200 years old, it's useless, nobody, I didn't realize until he listed off the people that use this, that anyone who says that this shouldn't be used or it's never been used or just old-fashioned or whatever, they're full of crap. Let's follow up at part 2.
has been invoked 22 times since its first use in 1808. Presidents Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Jackson, Ulysses Grant, Rutherford Hayes, Grover Cleveland, Woodrow Wilson, Herbert Hoover, Franklin Roosevelt, Dwight Eisenhower, John Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson, and George H.W. Bush have each invoked the Insurrection Act to do such things as stop riots, enforce desegregation orders, and military disturbances, and to quell labor disputes. Defense One, a military online publication, reported that 2 retired lieutenant colonels, John Nagel and Paul Yingling, have written an open letter to General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, urging him to employ military force to remove the President of the United States if he does not leave office on January 20th, 2021. They wrote, if Donald Trump refuses to leave office at the expiration of his constitutional term, the United States military must remove him by force, and you must give that order. Now, it should go without saying that it is impermissible for retired officers to urge a coup to overthrow the government of the United States. And since President Trump has never hinted that he would not follow the constitutional plan for succession of power, it is doubly disturbing that their call for military insurrection is based on fanciful conjecture about what the president might or might not do under various scenarios.
It's really incredible to listen to, well, the accusations are one thing, but the things that people, especially people on television, are coming up with, that they're just saying openly and blatantly, it's incredible. It's almost insurrection in itself, the things they're saying.
I think so. Let's continue.
Number 3.
The idea of a military takeover has been percolating for some time. As early as August 18, 2020, Defense One had published an article by Thomas Crosby entitled 6 Scenarios for Military Intervention After January 20th. After discussing the rather implausible scenarios, its author stated, coups are nasty things, and discussing them in the American context is deeply distasteful. Nevertheless, facing those scenarios may help us understand the real dynamics general and flag officers will be forced to navigate in the coming months.
Yeah. I think we've discussed this before. This is obviously a color revolution. It's the same plan they always have. Cause strife, problems on the streets, and do that around an election, and then call someone illegitimate, and boom, bingo, boom, shakalaka.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. But the people that are doing this, the retired officers, Mattis, Kelly, and others, really just need to be taken to the woodshed over this, because this is all illegal. But let's go to clip 4, and then to 5 we'll finish. This clip is long.
The military is becoming dangerously politicized. General James Mattis is the former Secretary of Defense who resigned in 2018 in a successful effort to block the president from withdrawing troops from Syria. On June 3rd, 2020, he issued a frightening denunciation of the president. After praising the rioters for their wholesome and unifying demands, he denounced the president in scathing terms. And he said, "We are witnessing the consequences of 3 years without mature leadership." He said, "We can unite without him," drawing on the strengths inherent in our civil society. During the week of June the 7th, 2020, retired General Colin Powell led other retired military leaders in blasting the commander-in-chief. Powell praised those officers who had spoken out against the president in recent days. General Powell echoed General Mattis's denunciations of the president, saying that he agreed that Trump is the first president in his lifetime who is not trying to unite the country. In a veiled swipe at the American electorate, retired Marine General John Kelly said, "I think we need to look harder at who we elect." Retired Marine Corps General John Allen arrogantly claimed Donald Trump isn't religious, he has no need for religion, and doesn't care about the devout, except insofar as they serve his political need. The declarations of these military officials appear calculated to undermine the president's authority to quell domestic disturbances by suggesting that invoking the Insurrection Act is illicit, and by downplaying widespread urban terror. These officials have placed their imprimatur on the violent criminal behavior. Article 88 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice prohibits retired officers from using contemptuous words against the President of the United States. It is difficult to justify legally many of these officers' comments. In some instances, the contemptuousness toward the President appears to violate criminal law.
Ah, there we have it. Okay. God, it's so disgusting when you think of, we just gloss over it because a bunch of words said in the mainstream, but there's some actual legal consequence possibly.
Was that 4 or 5?
That's 4.
Okay. Yes, I found this to be a very, the fact that nobody's bringing this up, that these guys are actually in violation of their own, agreements with the military as retirees making pretty good money, that this needs to be discussed. And these guys need to be, they're not going to arrest them, let's face it, but something needs to be done.
Someone needs to tell them they need to simmer down.
So here we go with 5 where his suggestions come.
Taken together, the coordinated release of scathing remarks by senior officials, coupled with publication of a letter advocating a military coup, suggests a deep sickness within the Pentagon and within our constitutional structure. To my knowledge, neither the Secretary of Defense nor the service chiefs have taken action against the widely publicized talk of military insurrection. General Milley should refer the Colonel's letter to the legal counsel for the Joint Chiefs to determine whether its publication violates the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Beyond that, Secretary of Defense Mark Esper has an obligation to issue a grave warning against officers, both active and retired, who seek to overthrow the President of the United States using armed force. Those retired officers who have published contemptuous words against the President of the United States should be issued permanent letters of reprimand, cautioning against criminal violations of Article 88 UCMJ. They should be reminded that Article 88 applies to retired officers and that the law was enacted because undermining the authority of the Commander-in-Chief presents a clear and present danger to the survival of our republic.
Huh. Well, who's going to take that one on?
Well, he puts it on the shoulders of Esper.
Yeah, Esper.
Who's such a weenie. I don't know. He can do anything.
This makes so much sense. And I think we discussed it 1 or 2 shows ago about the similarities between the color revolution and what's happening now with the, quote, peaceful protests and the lack of any local responsibility for taking care of it. We got a new meme back all of a sudden. It was really important. MSNBC, Donnie Deutsch, he had to do it. Trump was at the rally in Pennsylvania, which from a PR standpoint, holy cow, how genius was those airport hangars as an idea? You just roll up Air Force One, the big American penis, It's right there in the background. You put up all the Trump signs. You open it up so people can stand there. It's a genius marketing move. But of course, we've got people in red hats. Obviously, you got to think Nazis.
Look at that crowd. Before I get to COVID, what stunned me is, and Alex, if we show some of the kind of the actual live shots of the crowd, there's not one person of color anywhere. Like usually behind him, he puts one kind of token in there, a token person. If you
not
scan
one.
this crowd, this is stunning. It is, if you go not even behind him, but through the thousands and thousands of people, and this to me looked like a rally from the early 30s. Joe, I was watching the first hour, and as Jay Johnson was talking about comparing to Hitler, and that's something you cautiously do, because we can use the word fascist, but then when you go Hitler, you can't, everybody starts to go, but what was going on in early 30s Germany? Well, basically you had a destruction of the belief in the free press. You had a blurring between the executive branch and the Justice Department. You have creating an other, whether it's Muslims, whether it's Mexicans, whether it's congressmen who weren't born in this country. And then you have the destruction of free elections. And we're here. And what is the difference between Adolf Hitler and Donald Trump? I'm not saying there's a Holocaust, but when you look at the tactics, and that is where we are right now.
It was so bad that this one episode of Morning Joe has been condensed in a supercut down to 45 seconds. This is one show, one day, the show that Donnie Deutsch just compared Trump once again to Hitler. Listen to this.
You won't call them fascist comments. Fascism. Fascists call fascism. Just fascist. Fascist
notions of fascism. Xenophobic, racist, demagogic, racist, sexist, xenophobic, autocratic, and fascistic. Donald Trump is a fascist.
Someone like a fascist or a tyrant or an autocrat.
Fascist rhetoric, fascist language, fascists.
I'm glad that you're starting talking about fascism. Hitler.
Right. Fascist rhetoric, he's talking the way fascists talk. It's autocratic. Fascist in Nazi Germany before the rise of Hitler. Fascist language.
To Hitler. Fascist. Hitler. Adolf Hitler.
Hitler. But Hitler.
From what Adolf Hitler preached in the early 30s. Let's just say it once and for all.
That's just a regular old Morning Joe show. Fascist, Hitler, Nazis. You people, you, who look at an audience like that, you just othered them right there. You are true Nazis. And I'll say it to your face. Disgusting. I'm so tired of this. And you're all really, really low scum. The scummiest people. After Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, I know you don't think that she's all that great, which I'm not arguing that. I think she was a role model. I do appreciate it. I think at least she can be in the ground before. What are you eating? Pistachio nuts? I'm just guessing.
No, I have to have a lozenge.
Okay, a lozenge.
Otherwise, you're going to have me coughing like you were just doing.
It's okay. It's just a little crackly. I just want to make it sounded like I had a vision of pistachio nuts.
Oh, that's the last thing I guarantee you I'm ever going to eat on the show.
I don't know. I just felt like pistachio.
A little skin in there.
Are you fisting your nuts again? Okay, back to the lowest.
I'll leave that for the ladies.
Back to the lowest scum of the earth. Whether you liked her as a Supreme Court justice or not, she was very meaningful to the country. She was on the Supreme Court for a long time. The poor woman is not even in the ground. The news is just out. And it started with Mazie Hirono, the scum of the earth, loser, nothing, empty shell of a human being from Hawaii who thinks that she can lie like this for political reasons.
She meant so much to millions of people's lives. And I know what her last fervent wish was, that she not be replaced until a new president is installed. And that is how we should honor the legacy of this totally remarkable, courageous jurist, and that is to honor her last words that she not be replaced until a new president is installed.
Now, I want to talk about the words in a minute, but we understand what she's saying. She's lying. There is no evidence that her last fervent words, notice the term fervent words were basically, whatever it is you Democrats want, don't let Trump take it away from you. And this lie went straight to Chuck Schumer, the main man in the Democrat Party in the Senate, with a sign, with the quote. A sign. He's doing a stand-up Sandy Cortez is there, and he has the sign. So when he says the words, you can read along with them.
And she was an amazing woman.
Oh crap! I'm sorry. I got another. So it's I can hear.
Is this like a gag now?
No, it's one channel, so that's why I want to make sure that everybody can hear it. So let me just I'll fix that. That's easy to fix. Here we go.
And she was an amazing woman, and so the first reason we're here is for unity, and the second is to honor her legacy, to demand that her last wish be fulfilled by the Senate. She said, "My most fervent wish is that I will not be replaced until a new president is installed." We believe that. So do the American people.
That could be 4 years from now.
Today, a Reuters poll came out and said 62% of Americans agree with her. So that means that's such a high number, it has to mean that Democrats, Republicans, and Independents all agree that it is only right and it is only fair for us to abide by RBG's last wish, that she be replaced when a new president is installed.
Okay, now you already caught it, obviously. This is some really, really lower than whale shit stuff. I cannot believe that this is taking place. First of all, to use a dead woman, she just died, and it literally said, "My fervent wish." She's on her deathbed, and this is what she said. And somehow Mazie Hirono heard it first, then Schumer gets it, and the words. This is some evil chaos magic that they're performing here. The words are not. What is implied is, do not choose a new court justice until after the election. But that's not what they're saying, because this is the lie. This is why you know it's a lie, because she never would have said, do not choose my replacement until another president is installed. A new president would mean not this president, which, as you correctly point out, is in 4 years. But this installed word is there for a reason. We do not install the president of the United States. You install the president of your sports club. You install the president of your class. You could even install the president of Harvard. You do not install the United States president. Am I incorrect in this?
It's a word that you wouldn't use.
Never. Why are they using it? Because whoever Joe Biden is masking for, that person will be installed as president. That's what's in their heads. They know that they're going to install Kamala Harris or whoever. That's their plan. The word installed is what it's about.
Well, that would lead me to the supercut of how the exact same Democrats felt about installing a new Supreme Court justice after the death of the one before, the one when Garland was going to be the Supreme Court during the end of the Obama administration, and it was put off by the Republicans wisely, and they made a big fuss that everything you're going to hear on this supercut is in complete contrast with what they're saying today.
The American people deserve a fully staffed court of 9.
The president nominates, and then the Senate advises and consents or not, but they go forward with the process.
What we're seeing here, and I hope this is temporary, is a disrespect for the Constitution.
The Constitution is 100% clear. The President of the United States has the right to nominate someone to be a justice of the Supreme Court. Senate's function is to hold hearings and to vote.
The blockade on filling a naturally occurring vacancy, in my view, is harmful to the independence of the Article III branch.
You cannot keep a seat on the Supreme Court, which represents all of us. You cannot keep it vacant against the Constitution.
Do pretty much everything they can to avoid acknowledging the legitimacy of our democratically elected president.
The American people expect the president's nominee to be given a fair hearing and a timely vote in the Senate.
Every day that goes by without a ninth justice is another day the American people's business is not getting done.
I say to you, do your job. Vote for a Supreme Court nominee.
Instead of just saying the blanket rule is no matter who you are, no matter what your qualifications, because you are sent by this president, we will create a unique rule for you and refuse to entertain you.
One of the most important consequences of who is president of the United States is who sits on the United States Supreme Court.
If you want to stop extremism in your party, you can start by showing the American people that you respect the President of the United States and the Constitution.
The American people deserve a fully staffed court of 9.
Okay. I'm officially banning violins on supercuts now.
I don't know where
that's got to stop.
What are these people thinking? The supercut is fine without the
supercut is a
stupid
great
music.
idea. Don't ruin it. All right, I have to take us out of this funk. I have to play the Trump joke of the week. Just to get us, because I got it. We have a long end of show mix, at least 5 minutes total. Rexo Cuozo are back with another one, so I feel somewhat obligated to play that because they are so good. This was Trump being asked a question.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle chimed in on the U.S. election and essentially encouraged people to vote for Joe Biden. I want to get your reaction to that.
I'm not a fan of hers. And I would say this, and she probably has heard that, but I wish a lot of luck to Harry, because he's going to need it.
Oh, God.
Woohoo! Woo! Yeah, he's going to need it.
Oh, man.
I have an end of show ISO. Just, let me see. I got to crank this volume up, I think. It seems a little low on that. I'm curious what you have here. This is my only candidate.
A sledgehammer to kill a swarm of flies.
You win.
You don't have one? Is that what you said? All right. Anything else upbeat and uplifting that you want to do before we leave?
Oh, there's trees for global warming.
No, I said uplifting, something fun. No, I don't want trees for global warming.
Oil is over, pig farming.
Right.
No, I got nothing uplifting.
We will return, not to Spotify, but we will return to you, dear producer, as we thank you again for your time, your talent, and your treasure, bringing it to the Value for Value network that we have created here over, well, we think it's 14 years, could be 13. We'll find out when we look at the calendar how many years we actually exist. More than a decade, for sure. Thank you for putting the show together. We produce it with you, and you deserve all the credit.
Did we do the second half donation segment?
Are you kidding me? Did we just completely forget that?
I didn't.
Well, you just forget. Are you kidding me? Did we just pass that over? I gotta stop smoking weed with my cornflakes, man. That's
I'm gonna show my support by donating.
What are we doing?
Agenda. Imagine all the people who could do
white
that.
man?
Oh yeah, that'd be fab.
Oh my God. We're pulling a Biden. What is going on with us? You know why?
Why you keep saying us? Let's thank a few people for producing the show. You just look at the clock and you can tell that we're not anywhere near where we should be quitting.
Are you kidding me? It's 2 hours and 45 minutes because you just played 25 minutes of music with a guy talking. That's why I forgot. I was hypnotized.
It was 45 seconds.
Please. We're at 2 hours and 46 minutes. That's why I was confused. I had no idea.
No, but we had a huge, long opening segment.
Yeah, but you're blaming it on me.
No, I'm not blaming. Well, yeah, you were closing the show up.
Well, I asked you. Okay.
You were slamming the door. You're right. You're right. The Supercuts thing was 147. All right, let's thank a few people. Needless to say, they need to be thanked. I'm sure a few people were freaked. And especially Ryan Radisky. He's the one who came in with $132 from...
I feel like a total shit now. I mean, how the hell could we forget this? This is very odd.
I keep using the word we. Ryan Radisky, I'm looking at you, producer. Mountain Lion, he's in Mountain Iron, Minnesota nuts. He does a double middle finger to the M5M. Okay.
Well, no, what that is if you look at the...
Oh, that's interesting.
It's binary. It's 001.
If you take 132 binary, you get 2 ones and 2 mid. Okay.
Yeah, so you get 00100. That's 2 knuckles and a finger in the middle, and 00100 is 132 in binary. I like it. It's a double middle finger to the M5M. It's a very nice donation.
Okay, that's going to be one of our regular donations now.
I like it.
So Michelle Small in 12345. In Nowhere, Marianne Burkett in Kyle, Texas. $100.62. This is not a big segment, so you're going to have to worry about it. Sir Patrick Comer, Knight of the SoCal Hills in San Diego, California. Ian Field, and that's $100. Also $100 from Ian Field in Eastleigh, Hampshire, UK. Or Eastleigh. Sir Tom Dari in DeForest, Wisconsin. And he actually sent a note in. Let's see if I can find it, because it was a card, I believe. Yes. He sent a card in saying, thank you for 14 years of infotainment. Here's a few extra. He always comes in with a 5510. For all the hard work, I've been a knight since early on. I have proudly been a monthly double nickel guy since 2016. I guess that makes me a baron by now.
That's right.
I think we put him on the list.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 random jingles. You didn't do the knighting either. 3 random jingles from the past.
You mean we didn't do the knighting?
We didn't do the knighting.
All
I'll
right.
take the we on that. Can you give him 3 random jingles? Just random jingles from the past. Like some.
Gee, okay. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that.
Just take your medicine. Just take your medicine. It's the no agenda swine flu minute.
Ooh, it's a good one.
To the gate, to the gate.
Another good one, which will be coming back into vogue.
This has never happened to us.
Yeah, okay. Quit fretting about it. We're fine. Sir Furry Fury, Knight of Oregon's Greens in Salem, 88. Brian Navarro in Los Angeles, California. You're lucky I just didn't let you close the show.
Hey, move it along, Dvorak.
Mickey D in Arlington, Virginia, 6969. See what he says there. David Forbes in Shakopee, Minnesota, that's 6006, along with Anonymous at 6006, who's got a birthday for somebody. He's taking advantage of the Dame Drive. Okay.
Oh, well, hold on a second. Dear sirs, this anonymous donation is towards the peerage of an individual that I've never met. I want to take advantage of the Dame Drive to honor the, quote, wife, quote, of nearly normal Jimmy for being such a good sport by letting him hang out with his online friends. It would be unseemly for me to request a de-douching of another man's wife. They can ask for a de-douching if they desire. Also, the, quote, wife, quote, of nearly normal Jimmy needs a birthday shout-out for 25. She's on the list. But I don't know about the damehood. I don't have any other information, and she's not on the list. So that needs to be looked at in the back office.
We'll look at it.
Eric
Richardson, $60. Sir Kevin of the Black Knot, Amherst, New Hampshire, 5510. John Gaynor in Aldi, Virginia, 5280. Danielle Williams in Mount Shasta, California. Forrest Martin, 5033. Forrest Martin, 5005. Danielle's got a birthday call out coming. Sir Trent Wabbis in Elwood, Victoria, Australia. He's got a call out there for
Emily
Victoria, he says.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, they won't lift restrictions on the COVID new cases with only 14 new cases. 14. I love the number. It's so low.
Yeah.
It's mental, he says. But this donation is thanks to this COVID cash. Oh, he got some COVID cash. Thanks, you guys, for the sanity. Birthday for him. Salem and these are $50 donors. Just plain Salem and Tomball.
Well, hold on. He needs a de-douching.
You've been de-douched.
How do you pronounce that little town in Texas?
Tomball.
Okay, with that accent.
You got to do that.
Tomball.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Grice, John Lawrence, Todd Grubb in Capac, Michigan, or Capac. Michael Golub in Glen Burnie.
Also needs a de-douching.
You've been de-douched.
Julian Robbins, Kevin Silverman, Robbins is in Aptos, and Silverman is in Severn, Maryland. Daniel LeBoy in Bath, Michigan. I think it's a sir. Jesus Allen in Austin, Texas. Sir Patrick Maycomb in New York City. Alex Delgado in Aptos, another Aptos dweller. Interesting. And last but not least, Baron Alan Bean. He's in Tigard, Oregon now. I want to thank these folks for making show 1280 possible by being producers.
Yes, and thank you for your courage. Thank you for supporting us, and thank you to everybody who came in under $50. And thank the trolls for telling me how to pronounce everything today. Thank you for coming in under 50. $49.99 seems to be the big anonymous donation. That's why we cut it off at 50 if people want to do that. But also we have our multiple subscriptions, which are really sustaining. They keep it going. They keep a base for us. If donations are low, it works pretty well. We'd like you to check that out. And the way to do that is go to our website,
Dvorak.org/NA.
And just a general jobs karma for everybody who needs it in these trying times.
Jobs, 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 and jobs. Let's vote for jobs.
You've got karma.
It's your birthday.
All right, here we are. It is the 24th of September, 2020, and the list is as follows. First, a belated birthday to Sir Luca of Switzerland, who will be Sir Luca momentarily. He celebrated on the 11th of September. Dame Anonymous of Colonial Place. That's interesting. Hold on a second. Something is amiss here. What is going on here? Is this a daming, or is this
No, it's the Dame Anonymous of a Colonial Place wishing, I think it's her sister. Happy birthday.
Okay. It's so hard to tell sometimes what's going on here. No dates. All right, now we got it straight. Yes, Dame Anonymous of Colonial Places. Happy birthday to Dame Anne of Grey Rock. Now we got it. Allison Flesh, happy birthday to her smoking hot husband, Sir Night Night, who turned 40 just yesterday. Brian Roediger says happy birthday to immeasurably pleasant wife, Jennifer. She turns 38 today. Sir Mickey Keck turns 50. He will be seeing Abraham. Anonymous, happy birthday to the wife of Nearly Normal Jimmy, celebrating tomorrow. Also, her smoking anonymous to her smoking hot fiance. It's a different anonymous. Sean, who will be 33 tomorrow. Danielle Williams says happy birthday to her best sister in the universe, Rebecca, 33 tomorrow. And Sir Trent Wabbis says happy birthday to his smoking hot wife-to-be, Emily Sparkleboot. She'll be celebrating on Saturday. Happy birthday from everybody here at the best podcast in the universe.
It's your birthday, yeah. Title changes. Turn and face the slate. Don't wanna be a douchebag.
We have one change today. You heard him there in the second segment. Glad we did it. Sir Tom Derry completes another $1,000 in support of the No Agenda Show, best podcast in the universe, and becomes a Baron today. Henceforth shall be known as Baron Tom Derry. And if he wants a protectorate, we will, of course, have that reflected on all of the peerage maps as appropriate. Now we have one dame. We have one knight. So we've got the blade out. So you got a blade? A blade.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Oh, nice one. Sarah Keck, step on up. Along with Luca Aspetto. The two of you joined the No Agenda Roundtable just in time. We got them. Everyone's still here. They've been waiting patiently, so I'm very proud to, yes, I'll say it, pronounceicate the Dame Sarah, ruler of small dogs, and Sir Luca of Switzerland. For you, we have the perfect combo. We've got hookers and blow, rent boys and Chardonnay, something for the ladies, something for the men. Also, Italian salami sandwich and a real American Pepsi right here for you. Fish pie and fellatio, beer and blunts, Brazilian hotties and shashakasha, Rubenesque women and rosé, bong hits and bourbon, ginger ale and gerbils, breast milk and pablum, and mutton and mead. We always serve it at the No Agenda Roundtable. Head over to noagendanation.com/rings, and Eric the Shill will, of course, take very good care of you. And with that, we have arrived at, yes. No Agenda Meetup. That's right. I don't think we have any meetup reports, although sometimes they do get lost in the shuffle. So if we missed yours, then please make sure you resend it to us. And if it's a file, make sure you send it to me for sure. Here's what's coming up on Friday. Tomorrow, the Kansas City Baby Night Sir C. Mike edition meetup. We have brand new for Saturday, the inaugural Woke Walk at Terrytown Mansion in Danbury, Connecticut. Well, that's a brand new meetup on the scene. Do the work. Check the website for details. Jim Sharkey is your host. Also on Saturday, 203 Corridor, Monroe, Washington at Lake Ty. Meetup for those within the SR 203 corridor at the Park at Lake Ty in Monroe, Washington. Midland, Texas meetup at 2 o'clock tomorrow at Little Woodrow's. Long Beach, California, Flight 007. Also, I'm sorry, that'll be on Saturday, not tomorrow, Saturday. That's, let's see, Steelcraft City of Long Beach, north side of the venue along Bixby Avenue. Be wearing a white carnation, I guess. Local 404 at Rona Recovery, Georgia style, 3:33 p.m. on Saturday the 26th. And then we have Tuesday, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, the Bo Jiden Trump debate party in Monroe, Connecticut at Republic Kitchen. Also on Tuesday, I guess we're going to have a couple of these debate meetups. Oh, we were supposed to have the Fort Collins, Colorado meetup. That has been canceled due to some issues on the listening tour. Nothing serious, but I think that one just had to be canceled. There's more in the works. We're still looking at possibly in October. I think we're looking at October 13th for Vegas. We hope that we can make it work. A lot of people want to come in for that. We're still securing a venue, and we kind of have to wait until October 1st to see if the governor will allow some slack in the state. And the keeper and I will both be showing up for that. No Agenda meetups. It's a cool place to go. You can be clumsy. You can be yourself. There's no triggering. You'll like it, especially after being locked down for such a long time. NoAgendaMeetups.com. If there isn't one on the calendar, set one up.
Sometimes you want to go hang out with all the nights and days. You want to be where you won't be triggered or held to blame. You want to be where everybody feels the same. It's like a party.
Now, we can't go straight into the end of show after this.
I like Woke Walk.
The Woke Walk? That is a good one. The Woke Walk. Whew, okay. The affiliates should be warned that we've gone quite long on today's show. I think what happened is the first donation segment had the really long notes, and it was a lot. And by the way, not complaining, it was a really good showing, and we appreciate it. But it just floats. At a certain point, I'm like, after your series of 5 clips, it was a quarter to. I'm like 2 hours and 45 minutes, and it just never. I don't know. I
think you wanted to get out of here. Something's up.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got to go quickly register for Spotify. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. Trying to get some of that Spotify. No, there's nothing up.
Well, I do have a chance to do a couple clips.
You got it.
Let's get this one out of the way. This was one of the clips I've been saving. This is another slam against Hunter Biden. This is John Solomon again. We've had clips from him before. This is one of his other clips. This is a short clip about Hunter Biden joining a board and seems fishy.
All right, folks, back during the impeachment scandal, the Democratic storyline was the requests to investigate Hunter Biden were wrongheaded because there was no evidence that anything untoward happened while Hunter Biden was working at Burisma. That's no longer the case. State Department documents released to me show that in the January...
Really? More of this music? This is like the seventh
I'm
clip.
telling you, it's driving me crazy.
Like, you can't bring that to show and tell anymore. This is just not, it's
what if everybody does nothing? You know, there are some European outlets that do the news and they have a bed. And I think Euronews does that a lot. I don't know where this is coming from.
Sucks.
Do people think this is a production value or?
Well, did you get this off of YouTube where someone did it themselves? 'Cause that's what people do.
No, this came right from this guy's feed.
Really?
Yeah.
Blech.
That's no longer the case. State Department documents released to me show that in the January of 2015, the State Department had determined that Burisma, the Ukrainian gas company that hired Hunter Biden, after it had hired Hunter Biden, had made a $7 million bribe to a Ukrainian prosecutor who was overseeing an investigation of the company's corrupt practices. So while Hunter Biden had a fiduciary responsibility for the company, an untoward act, a bribe, an alleged bribe at least, was detected by the State Department. It was reported to the FBI, but nothing else came of it. It doesn't appear that anyone investigated or looked further into it. Now, the State Department was confident that this bribe had occurred. Why? Because one of the prosecutors they interviewed acknowledged it happened. And they acknowledged it happened in the May to December 2014 timeframe when Hunter Biden first joined the board.
Maybe people do this so that you don't edit them or something.
Oh, I edit them anyway.
Oh, well, that was pretty seamless. Maybe we're just missing out on something really good. Maybe we're not doing it right, John. Here's how the show should sound. This is just you and me. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Adam,
good. It's the No Agenda Show where we deconstruct the media. That's right.
I think yakety sax is really what you want for the bed.
No, I like Rachmaninoff. Everyone seems to be doing damn classical music these days. Which, by the way,
less likely to get pulled from YouTube.
Well, it's still a violation of copyright.
Probably.
I think we should just leave this. I'm kind of digging it.
You know what it is? It lets you have a lot of dead air.
Yeah. Well, what it is we're going to stop that.
Okay, I got one more clip.
No, I'm in the end of show.
That clip sucked. I gotta make good.
Oh, brother.
Let's try this one. Oil is over.
Okay. Oil is over.
This comes as Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden said he would not ban fracking during a speech in Pittsburgh. A group of 145 organizations, including Sunrise Movement and Greenpeace, have released a letter calling on Biden to ban fossil fuel interests from his campaign and administration if he wins. The letter reads, quote, "To advance environmental justice, you must stand up to fossil fuel CEOs, stop the expansion of oil, gas, and coal production, and rapidly transition us away from fossil fuels," unquote. This comes as the global oil industry...
Hold on. We're not doing this right. I'm telling you, we are doing this wrong. I mean, we might as well do the clips the right way. I'd like to start Amy over again because Amy is very important on the show. We can't have a show without Amy. So we'll do it in apparently the trendy way.
This comes as Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden said he would not ban fracking during a speech in Pittsburgh. A group of 145 organizations, including Sunrise Movement and Greenpeace, have released a letter calling on Biden to ban fossil fuel interests from his campaign and administration if he wins. The letter reads, quote, "To advance environmental justice, you must stand up to fossil fuel CEOs, stop the expansion of oil, gas, and coal production, and rapidly transition us away from fossil fuels," unquote. This comes as the global oil industry is in crisis with falling demand and crashing prices exacerbated by the coronavirus pandemic. Despite this, fossil fuel companies continue to pump out an excess of oil, much of it stored on tankers in the ocean. In May, as 390 million barrels of oil and gas sat in storage in the world's oceans, Greenpeace activists sailed out along the San Francisco Bay, unfurling a banner saying, "Oil is over, the future is up to you."
I'm here in San Francisco Bay, where floating oil storage tankers are now idling, storing oil that no one wants and where we have nowhere to put.
Despite this, Congress has poured billions of dollars of COVID relief funds into bailing out the fossil fuel industry.
Oh, my God. That is total distortion of facts. We have tons of oil tankers floating around waiting for better prices, but some douche knuckle with a mask says, well, this clearly is no need for oil. Please.
Well, by the way, there's not that many tankers. I've seen worse.
I think the classical music is working for us.
I couldn't hear it that way. You know, if you notice the guys who are using the music beds, the music kind of drowns out what they're saying. You didn't have it loud enough.
I wasn't doing it right. Yes, it should be more like this. Oh, God. All right, now we definitely have to end this show. This is probably one of the most interesting shows we've ever done at the end here. And you're getting your money's worth. It'll be about 5 hours before we're done. And we do have some outstanding end-of-show mixes for you. Rexo Cuozo are back with their third installment. It's good enough to play in its entirety. Then we have Jesse Coy Nelson and a fantastic Rolando Gonzalez. I had more, but those will have to wait until the Sunday show.
Oh, yes, we have to note that on the Sunday show, we may discuss a little bit. I already know what they're going to do to get after Amy Coney Barrett if Trump picks her. Mm-hmm. They've already shown their hand, so we're going to talk about that on Sunday if they pick her. Otherwise, I mean, I had a bunch of clips. I said, no, I'm not going to use those clips unless we know for sure that she's the pick. But they're going to go after her in a very interesting way. You're going to get a kick out of it.
Coming to you from Opportunity Zone 33 here in the capital of the Drone Star States, Austin, Texas, FEMA region number 6 on the governmental maps. In the morning, everybody, I'm Adam Curry.
And from Northern Silicon Valley, I'm John C. Dvorak.
We return on Sunday right here. Remember us at Dvorak.org/NA. How could you forget us? Until Sunday, adios, mofos! And such.
And by the way, as I joke with him, you know, I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental
Yo, Joe, I'ma let you finish. But Donald Trump had one of the best economies of all time, and I don't know why you in this.
Oh, man.
And I don't think you do either, so I'm bringing you some ether when they ask me who I'm gonna vote for. Are you riding with Biden or you want 4 more? I just smile and reply calmly. I think I'ma write in Kanye. Yeah, I'm gonna write in Kanye. I think I'ma write in Kanye. I probably gonna write in Kanye. Take my pen and write in, yay. College dropout, I know all about it. Late registration, he ain't even on the ballot. They try to paint him in a box where the walls are padded. When it comes to Kanye West, why's the media so rabid? Is it cause he talked to Trump, or cause he talked to God? Or is it simply cause the left cannot control his mind? He's supposed to get out in the field and toe the party line. Till he does what he's told, the woke won't be satisfied.
When it all falls down, yeah, it's who they call. They tell you he bipolar, but in a way, aren't we all? Within us, there's heroes and villains, civilians and everything in between. So when you ask me why I feel him, it's zero pandering. I'm white, middle American. I watch they do more for the country than these 2 grandparents did. See, I don't want him running. I'd rather write him in. He could do more from Twitter than being president.
When they ask me who I'm gonna vote for, are you trying to dump Trump or you want 4 more? I just smile and reply calmly. I think I'ma write in Kanye. Yeah, I'm gonna write in Kanye. I think I'ma write in Kanye. I probably gonna write in Kanye. Take my pen and write in, yeah.
No one man should have all that power, except maybe Ye, but definitely not the coward in the basement. Biden-Harris crime bill rebranded. Ye told y'all Jerome get more time than Brandon, but all y'all wanna do, gossip, stop it. Kardashian lawyer, and I ain't talking Robert. Most qualified first lady since Eleanor. Honestly, I can't think of no one this ain't better for.
This is what we headed for. Kanye Vision 2020 or less visible. Kanye Vision 2024. I am ready for a president whose presence is a present. present. Someone who will take the press and press them into learning lessons. I know he jumped on stage and snatched the mic with precision, but a lot of us wouldn't be here without those drunk decisions. You know our entire country is run on division, but not Kanye. So when they ask me who I'm gonna vote for, are you riding with Biden or you want 4 more? I just smile and reply calmly, I think I'ma write in Kanye. Yeah, I'm gonna write in Kanye. I think I'ma write in Kanye. I probably gon' write in Kanye. Take my pen and write in, yay.
Mental fitness.
Hi, this is Tom Morello. I am reading my first ever Books on Tape. This is a book that I have in my personal collection that I read to my 3-year-old and 5-year-old. A is for Adam Curry. B is for Bingo Boom Shakalaka. Bobbing in the Sky. C is for
taking the C out of critical race theory.
And cats. D is for douchebag.
This is putting subliminal messages into the child's head.
E is for
everyone hug and share a secret.
F is for
fact check false.
G is for
Get out of my vagina.
H is for healthy food.
Have more kale. Have more kale.
You will
have
obey.
more kale.
You
have
will
more
obey.
kale.
I.
In the morning.
J is for
JohnCDvorak.org/NA.
K is for
karma. You've got karma.
M.
Mutton and mead.
N is for no. No, no. No agenda. O.
Yeah. Orange Man bad.
P. P is for
Putin!
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. Q is for question.
What have you done?
R.
RESPICT. Resist. We must.
S is for
Space Force.
and.
Stop the hammering.
T is for trust in the true.
That's true.
And tigers too. U. Wait, that's not U. That's W. V is for what? X is for what?
This is a scam.
Y is for you.
You will obey.
Z. Z is for
Zephyr just shot by.
Early.
of course.
Oh my God! Listen to that horn!
Listen, kiddo, I get it. I don't like the two-party system. I think our country's corrupt, and quite frankly, I don't want to vote for Biden. It feels like voting for a Republican. But I'm gonna do it. You want to know why? Because the alternative is a fucking fascist. A fascist is a fascist. Maybe we can have the conversation about dismantling the two-party system when a fascist isn't running. Maybe we can do that later, kiddo. Champ, chief. Maybe we can talk about it later. I'm a mess. Fuck! Can this hear any fucking word? I'm calling your club, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. I fucking hate you. Ruth, you don't have to make it to 2021.
I know I'm not exactly the voice that people need to be hearing right now. I need more confirmation that this is real. I've gotten some, but I need more confirmation that this is real. I've just about had it with 2020.
Please vote. Please be registered and go vote. I don't want to lose my rights. I don't want to lose my right to health care. I don't want my friends to lose the rights to their marriage. So please go vote. Thank you.
The best podcast in the universe.
Adios, mofo.
Dvorak.org/NA. A sledgehammer to kill a swarm of flies.
No Agenda Live. High quality podcasts. You're listening to the No Agenda stream.
This is Nick the Rat, and I love the No Agenda stream, the best podcast, information, and entertainment stream in all streamdoms. There's a lot of streams out there, but this is the best.
Bodkins, gadzooks. Look at that old spook of spooks.
Who's that coming down the street?
Are they shovels or are they feet?
Mean and lanky,
Skin and bone, with clothes a scarecrow would hate to own. Yet he has a certain air.
Debonair and devil may care. It's the new schoolmaster. What's his name?
It's the rat!
Hello, everybody. It is. It's that time again. It's that time of again. It is Wednesday. 9/23/2020. All right, I'm going to open the show with a couple of things that are normal and a couple of things that are not normal. I'm going to start off the show with the normalness. I'll say it's episode 249. And I am Nick the Rat coming to you live from the sewers of Brooklyn, New York. Still in the sewers of Brooklyn, New York. Born and raised in the guts, in the feces. You can no longer shit on the subways, otherwise you will be reprimanded. Of New York City. That's where I've been born and raised. This place has turned into shit. It's turned into a shithole. But then again, I think from the shit phoenix will rise. Because it started, okay, let's first start with this beer. We have a lot to talk about tonight. And nothing like a 40 ounce of Budweiser is going to help us get us through this. Manhattan's sucked for a long time. It's safer, but it's going to become unsafe again. Probably unsafe and uncouth, but hopefully all the money will leave and the offices from giant corporations fucking raping the rent of the fucking storefronts in Manhattan will disappear. And then it will become a complete shithole, and then the artist will come back and reinvigorate it. That's the only thing I could hope for. Let's also talk about the... if you're watching the video on Twitch, you'll notice that I have shaved my beard off. Shaved it off. It's gone. And there's a reason for it, and I will discuss this right now. A few years ago. Yeah, this goes back up more than a little while ago. You know, a lot of people don't like to talk about medical issues, and I don't either. This is not really a medical issue. This was just like a random happening in my life, and it sucked. But you know, whatever. You know, life sucks, and then you die. So try to do something different every day, because why the fuck not? So I was in New Orleans. I think about in 2000. And I don't know, it was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. It was a while ago. It was a pretty long time. And for some weird reason, part of my beard, like a chunk of it, over here on my chin, just fucking vanished. There's a big old chunk. I actually went to the doctor. I was like, doctor, my beard's disappearing in patches. It's like alopecia. But in that patch, it grew back. It did look like there was like this scrape mark on my face. I think there's demons in my sleep or something. It's weird that are attacking my facial hair. So then I had to shave down. I had like a mustache. It was all weird looking. Nick the Rat with a mustache I look like a weird perverted baseball player. So I lived through it. I just whatever. I have a patch of circle of hairlessness on my face, and then it went away. It disappeared. Like, the hair just grew back one day. And now, then I was growing this beard out for a long time. I was just fucking growing, fuck it. I'm just going to see what I could do with this thing. And it was like a chia pet. It might have been New Orleans voodoo. I'm sorry if I'm boring people with this story, but whatever. I just feel like I need to get this off my chest because I got a lot of chest hair, and maybe this story will make it disappear naturally. And then I was trimming my mustache one day, and I trimmed too close in one area, like over here. It was right here, and I was like, oh fuck, And when you mess up and you trim too much, like for the past 3 or 4 weeks, I had this big old missing spot. But I was like, it'll grow back. And it wasn't growing back. And then I was like, I got to trim this beard. So I was trimming the beard down. And then I noticed that the part that I cut with a scissor, it never grew back. I got like a clean patch right here. It's like hairless, completely hairless. There's no little stubble even growing there. So I was like, fuck, I gotta shave it all off. So I just shaved it all off, and now I look like I'm 10. This is great. I'm gonna go rob a liquor store. Anyway, tonight we are having fun with Halloween. We're extending Halloween forever. Until, whenever I don't want to do it anymore. The ears are still hairy, yes. The hairy ears are going to always be hairy. But now you know the personal life of Nick the Rat's beard. We're not going to play This Is Halloween. I can't play any music on this show that is copyright Progo. The man is trying to stifle creation, trying to fuck up culture, trying to shut us down. But that's fine, because, life will find a way. I'm using this new NVIDIA fake-ass green screen thing going on here. I don't know what's happening. I feel like I'm in a whole nother universe. I got, bit by a vampire. Maybe that's what made my hair fall off and turned me young. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we got scary stories tonight. It's a Halloween all year. Fuck it. We're doing it. It's all the time Halloween. We're going to Sir Seat Sitter. I'll bring the beard back for you, baby. I want you to squirt on my face. So if the tickler does that for you, it's coming back. All right, let's go to some music. We'll be back with more Nick the Rat Radio. We have a lot of show to go through. We have stories from Mystery Man. We don't have news. We have music. We have some donations. We didn't get any P.O. Box goods. Sorry, nothing in the P.O. Box to open up and get stuck inside of this week. We got a couple of voicemails, not many. You could leave a voicemail at 917-719-5923. You could also listen to this song by Electronic Senses with Nebula. And hopefully you'll stick around for more Nick the Rat Radio.
Blitz, who you calling chicken, yo?
Want to take a ride? From the dark sewer in the filthy American Northeast, it's Nick the Rat Radio with your host, Nick the Rat. Now, here's Nick.
Hello, everybody. This is Nick. We're coming to you live from the sewers of Brooklyn, New York. That is the lovely Dame Jennifer. I got a art finally finished to send out to her. I think I do. Yeah, I got a little package. I'm gonna have to send that off to her. Man, gotta go to the Carolinas to go down there and chill out and get some beers with her. That should be pretty cool. Wait, hold on. Where's the camera? Bam. All right. We're finally back. We're back, everybody. Beer is good. I feel like a ghost. I feel strange tonight. Life is becoming very strange. I don't know if it's because I got bit on the throat by a vampire, or it's because maybe I got hit by a truck and I didn't notice. And what makes me me and you? I don't know. Maybe you're not really here. Maybe I'm just talking to myself, which I think I am doing right now. But if you call me, you could figure this out for me. You can call me at 917-719-5923 and prove to me that I'm not here alone. But don't do it yet because the phone line's not open. I'll probably open the phone lines very soon. But if you do call me now, you're going to get a voicemail message, and it's going to say something about leaving a message after the beep, and then after the beep, you could do something and leave a message, sort of like this person did.
Hey, Nick, a little fun tip. Next time you shave your mustache, or you shave Zindu's pussy, or one of his penises, lick that area. Just feel that stubble tingle. Oh, fuck. Your stream cut out. Anyway, you're back. Oh, fuck. God damn it, I gotta check my Wi-Fi, reset my router. Anyway, yeah, lick that area. Oh, it's wild. Like, if you ever shave your mustache and lick your upper lip, or if you shave your head, have a bitch lick your head. They go wild. They're like, oh my god, that feels amazing. Because, you know, you got the skin oils and that little tiny stubble. Whoa, hey, the stream is backing off. Anyway, yeah, good times for all. Lick that shaven area, whatever, wherever. You'll love it.
Is that what happened? Did I lick Zindu's private area, which caused this whole thing to happen here? Hold on one second. There's some weird shit going on behind me here. Let me try to fix this here. One second. Hold on one second, everybody. If you're not tuned into the video, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you're watching this on Twitch, then you do know what I'm talking about. Or if you're watching this also on the YouTubes with the video, there's a couple people that go. The weird thing is I post the show earlier to YouTube because it takes me a little while to work on the show art. The last week's show didn't come out until this week because it was taking me forever to do the show art. And then I put the cover art up on Redbubble, and I slapped that on some weird products as well, trying to make that look cool. But yeah, that's what I've been. I've been doing all that stuff and getting ready for Halloween. Just watching scary stuff, feeling creeped out, paying Mystery Man lots of money to read me scary stories. Illuminati has sent a scary story last week, and it was only part 1. Part 2 is not coming this week. I'm giving you the teaser. This is the long teaser for part 2 next week for that. Man, nothing like drinking a 40 ounce of Budweiser. Tis good, my friends, tis good. Maybe we should. Diane, do we have any gas blasts? If you email nick@nicktherat.com and put gas blast as the title, I'll read it on the show. It's true. At least mostly true. Sometimes I lose the brass monkey. Sir Seat Sitter, a brass monkey is getting like one of those little orange juice boxes, like the little cartons, and then getting a 40 ounce of Old English and drinking enough Old English to pour the carton of orange juice into it. And then you shake that up, and then you have yourself a brass monkey. I've had a few of those in my time. Not doing that tonight. I'm just drinking a 40 ounce of Budweiser. Blah. I think it's European now, so that's okay. It's not disgusting. It's good. Screw it. Jeez. Grow some balls. You know, that's the weird thing about you humans out there. There's a lot of people that are just like, that'll never work. Screw you. But, you know, there must have been so many people that have done that throughout their life. Like banana pancakes. Like, the first guy that made banana pancakes, there's probably like 30 people looking like, they're like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And then one day, one of those assholes grew a pair of balls, and they licked the pancake. They were like, and they're like, oh shit, these banana pancakes are the bomb. Peanut butter cup pancakes? Ned, get the fuck out of the chat room. Somebody kick him. That's fucking disgusting. Get out of here. Banana pancakes are fine, but don't talk about peanut butter pancakes. It's gross. We have a certain standard of quality in the sewer over here. Gas blast. It looks like we have about 500 of them. I'm only going to read one. Thank you for kicking that. Ned, get your peanut butter pancakes the fuck out of here. Definitely best glassed him out of here. Let's see. Your tongue's penetration. Oh, geez. What is this? Your tongue's penetrations relieves all constipation. Now the gas blasts must flow to your shoes. Who let Ned back in here? Oh, that was a troll. Okay. All right, we got some scary stories coming up. Should I play a scary story now? Should I start it off with a scary story and then no? You know what? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We need the show to flow because there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, you know, you got like a 6-hour long show? Well, fuck you. I don't care about your show then. It has to be an hour for me to care about it, and that's probably why. Do the Rat thing. That's probably why Origins of Things and stuff is doing better than Nick the Rat Radio. You know, I've been working on this show every Wednesday for the past 3 years, I guess. Every Wednesday. Didn't miss one Wednesday. I went around the world and I didn't miss a show. I was sick, didn't miss a show. A whole bunch of shit. But let me tell you, I forget what I was talking about. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I'm going to tell you I forgot what I was talking about, but I know I've been working on Origins of Things and stuff with Illuminatia for 5 episodes now, and it's already getting more hits. It's getting more hits than my show. Oh, and let me tell you, I don't have the RSS feed set up for it yet, but my RSS feed was fucked for a little bit, and it's funny because whenever my show's fucked up, there'll be like one person about a week later. They'll be like, oh, by the way, my friend, I like your show, but your shit's fucked. I'm like, oh, man, somebody should have realized this a lot longer than you, new listener to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. It turned out GoDaddy, my server sucks, and somebody's just pumping some bullshit PHP files into my server, and they're accepting it, not through my connection, and they're spamming my shit, and then when you try to download the show from the RSS feed, it's slow as shit. You know, fuck GoDaddy, man. GoDaddy, suck a dick. We're gonna listen to some music. We'll be right back with some. We'll do the donation segments, then we'll open the phone lines. We're gonna do some scary stories too. We got scary stories, people. You have to stick around for the good stuff. I don't like to give people the good stuff right away. I like when people stick around for it. And once you stick around for the good stuff, then you get the good stuff. I don't like to give it to people really quickly. If you're not in for the long haul, if you're not in for the 3, 4 or 5 hour show of a single psychopathic rat talking to himself, then I don't care. Oh yeah, also the Twitch, IRC, Discord chat triumvirate was fixed by NodeBit. Just want to say thank you to NodeBit for fixing that. If you're in Twitch and you chat, it's going to show up down there. If you're in IRC and you chat, or if you're in the Discord and you chat, it's going to show up down there. It's all going to show up right down there. Bam. In one little sweet fucking package of thank you, NodeBit. Somebody fuck chat up in the chat. Yeah, there's a whole little fun section going on. If you could... Oh, you weren't able to, the GoDaddy PHP attack that happened on me, which they were like, they weren't attacking you, they were just attacking the internet. There's a lot of just, bots attacking the internet, but GoDaddy's got to fucking up their game and fix their shit. You can't just have a server and be like, oh, you're on it with fucking flaws. Thank you, assholes. If you did a Google search for my site, you'd find it, and if you clicked it, it would just not load. That's what the PHP attack did. And it would send out a whole bunch of porn and spam. Anyway... let's just do a tune. We'll be back with more Nick the Rat, and we'll have some scary stories and all that stuff. But right now we're going to have Gambian music, art, chant, and dem down 4. We got to do the donation segment, then we'll open the phone lines. I think that the people that actually donate to the show should be mentioned before the show starts. If you haven't noticed, the show hasn't even started yet. That's I like to stretch things out. It's like Play-Doh. I haven't even played the first of the 3 segments that Mystery Man sent me, and I'm going to read donations right now. And talk about a ballsy podcast. Holy shit! There's a big old list of donators this week. This is also only the PayPal donations. If you go to nicktherat.com, or nicktheratradio.com and click donate. This is not the people that are donating through Twitch. If they do, it might show up. I don't know if it's going to show up on the thing if they donate. It has never. It's not going to show up on. I'll thank you later if you donate on Twitch. Personally, I'll pat you on the genitalia. All right, let's see here. We got PayPal sending me a bill. No, that's not what we want. We want donations. Let's see what we got here. Oh my God. People, come on, you gotta stop doing this. The first PayPal donation is a huge one. This one, oh boy. I wasn't expecting this here. You may refer to me as Sir Semi-Norwegian from No Agenda, expecting to be knighted on episode 1278. I've listened to 4 to 5 shows from Nick the Rat this week while at work. I still have no idea, no clue as to what I've actually listened to. But keep it up. $100 million. Holy shit, Sir Semi-Norwegian. I'm going to send him a little care package. I'm also going to send little Dame Jennifer a care package as well. Let's keep going through here. Holy shit, that's very gracious of you. Thanks so much. Let's see. If you don't write a message, I'll just read your initials in the donation amount. We have PC with 10. We have MA with the 420 subscription donation. MA, I just want to say, to you. Thank you so much, MA. The people with the initials, they know who they are because they know their initial letters. LCI, still have to figure this one out here. This LCI has been here forever, man, and I just got to figure out what's going on with them. I have to contact them. 420, thank you so much. Act Jew, what are they talking? Gay Pal and I. What is going on in my chat room? I need to. We banned NetNet. We could ban other people here. We could. Let's see. We have a JF with 669 and no note here. But I do want to say that if you ever have a story, you should tell it to a hog in the smoker. Take with that what you will. MY 420, no note. MY's been around forever. Thank you so much, MY. You've been an amazing supporter of the show. Oh, we have a 420 with a special instructions to the seller. Dear Mr. Rat, you are a national treasure. But not like the Nick Cage movie, which I haven't seen. KS. Man, I thought you were talking about the Nick Cage movie. I love that. It's a great movie. Holy scrambolis. This one just came in over the transom. We have instructions to the seller. Special instructions. Okay, if money is needed, use it. Otherwise, save it. NetNet. $50 billion. And we still kicked him and banned him from the chat room. All right, look. It doesn't matter how much money you give me, even if it's $50 billion that NetNed gave me, you could still get banned from the chat room. So you better watch your language in there. It's a dangerous situation. We have one more donation. This is great. This is a lot of support this week. Oh, crap. I don't have to mess up your name, but we have $500 trillion from... There's no note here. It's from a DM, though. Somebody slid into my DMs and gave me $500 million. I'm probably the richest guy in podcasting. Joe Rogan, Adam Curry. Those guys have nothing. Just Horowitz. Jeez. Nick the Rat's the new high roller. Don't send a bag of dicks, please. I have a whole closet full of dicks. We're going to listen to another tune. We're going to come back. You know what? Maybe we should play a story. I've teased this too long. I said the donations. We're going to play a story from Mystery Man for the Halloween holidays. It's going to be crazy. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to be scared. You're not be able to sleep alone. You're going to have to take your feet and you're going to have to bring them under the covers when you sleep at night. Because there's going to be goblins grabbing at your toes and licking them and fucking sticking their finger between each toe. Like finger fucking your toes. It's going to be really gross. You're going to be scared to go to bed tonight. You're not going to want to go to bed. That's how scary this story is. Diane, can you play that? It's not that scary. But Diane just said that if you're old and have a weak heart, maybe you want to tune out now because this might be too scary for you. Mystery Man with not Bigfoot assault, just scary, spooky, pre-ween Halloween spooky stories.
My name is Mystery Man. Tonight, I have a very spooky story to tell you. It doesn't involve Bigfoot, but that's okay. Halloween revolves around other creatures larger than Bigfoot. This story doesn't do that. I think it takes place around a very small creature. Possibly a homeless one.